we OG, we OG. Oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, is my guy for real, bro?
LiftOff.
Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What's up, guys? We are live again with another Ordinal hour, and this one is going to be absolutely amazing, guys, because we are right before Christmas. I think we're headed to a Santa Claus rally. I don't know. maybe we are. But it would be really cool to kind of go up today and up tomorrow and kind of go into Christmas. So some housekeeping real quick. We will not be live tomorrow or Wednesday. But we'll be back Thursday. We'll be back Friday. We're not sure what the schedule is going to look like next week, so just keep tuning in. We'll let you guys know by Friday what next week looks like. But, guys, today we have Bitcoin sitting at 93,100. Is this a pullback? Are we doomed? I'm not sure. I'm kind of feeling that this is, just a little bit of a pullback. I think that, maybe we go back up to 96, but I think that it's time for the alts and ordinals and runes to kind of start taking over here. I think Bitcoin's going to go sideways for a little bit, and then we're going to, but everything else is going to kind of pick up and kind of see where we're at. Could be wrong, but I'm curious to see what's going on. Without further ado, let's get the show started. Bringing my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
What's up, man? How was your weekend? How's everything with you, man?
Weekend was good, a little hectic, tried to get all the last minute shopping in, and still got I think like one or two people to get today. I'm a procrastinator when it comes to that, but I always get it done. But other than that, with what we do for a living, we always have to peek in at least to the price action and stuff with Bitcoin and stuff. So that was very interesting to see that there hasn't been this huge aggressive buyback type of situation happening, and we're sitting here. I know that MicroStrategy did buy some this morning, but it's not really affecting the price like it was, right? But that's okay. If you look at previous cycles, there is that 20% drop, and we just hadn't had that yet. So maybe this is it.
Yeah, I mean, MicroStrategy might be doing the opposite here. They might be keeping the price up, right? Maybe the price wants to go lower, and they're sitting there. They're like, we'll grab anything right now. So let's kind of get right into it there. So MicroStrategy has acquired an additional 5,262 Bitcoin for $561 million. So the last couple of weeks, they've been buying billions of dollars. So it looks like they're calming down here a little bit. It's just funny. As the price gets higher, they buy more, but dips, they buy less. But obviously, we know that's because they can take out more loans when the price is higher, because that means MicroStrategy stock is higher as well. So, but this is still awesome. It's like 6 weeks in a row now that MicroStrategy has bought every single Monday. Do you think they continue this? Do you think this continues, or do you think maybe they eventually get to a point where they got to stop?
Well, I think it's kind of that situation, but just on a different scale of like,
Yeah.
I'm not broke, but I'm full. It's because I'm fully
Fully
allocated.
allocated,
I mean,
yeah.
like MicroStrategy is pretty much fully allocated, right? Like they've done multiple different, taken multiple different approaches, I think, to acquire Bitcoin over the years. And this most recent one was to utilize, their stock and being
Yeah.
able to leverage that, right? Now, I think there's a lot of whales and people scrambling, trying to figure out, okay, how can I get access to liquidity and capital right now? And people are looking for it, and a lot of people are already allocated. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here to finish the year.
Yeah, 100%. We were talking before the show, and kind of like this maybe thing that's gonna happen here. Have we seen like Bitcoin kind of go sideways, right? What if this sideways continues, but we see like an alt season, Ethereum starts to run up, because Ethereum is yet to touch its all-time high, right? Bitcoin, Solana, so many other coins have hit all-time high. Everything EVM has not. Do we see the sideways action? Maybe a lot of money flowing into Ethereum now?
I still think it's a little too early for it, but
Yeah.
we both said we wouldn't be super shocked if that happened. It would be a little, I think, not characteristic of the cycle for it to happen in December. But who knows, right? Like this year has been anything but like, status quo in terms of
Yeah.
how, yes, the cycle did come back into rhythm during the summer leading into the fall and most of the fall, but the beginning of the year was off, is different because ETF, and then it seems like the end of the year is a little off. So I think we're just kind of in uncharted waters right now, right? Uncharted territory. And so we're all kind of anticipating January and how that's going to play out, if it's going to go back to the way things typically are.
Yeah. And you got to remember too, last cycle 2020, Bitcoin hit 22,000 around, right before Christmas, and then Ethereum was around $400. Ethereum's previous all-time high was around $1,400, and it didn't hit that until mid-January. And I'm kind of seeing that as well. So the all-time high now is around 4,800. It's a little under 5,000 if I'm correct. And then so we might hit 5,000 by mid-January. But like, what does that have to do with ordinals? What does that have to do with runes? I don't think ordinals and runes really run until we get a real alt season, right? Because I feel like runes now, with dog, for instance, is kind of like that Ethereum, how Ethereum used to be with Bitcoin. We need Bitcoin to run up first, and then you're going to see your assets like dog and Ordi really kind of push up. Do you see that as well? Do you see Ordi and dog kind of following Ethereum now?
I'm not so sure about if it follows Ethereum, but I think it's, first of all, this is a new Stacks was here last cycle, but Stacks was very like, you had to know and do research. Okay, they're trying to scale Bitcoin with Stacks, right? But like, I think the mentality where it could seem like it's following Ethereum is these whales and people that like know what they're doing are ready to put into higher risk asset class. I still think that the Bitcoin ecosystem does benefit first and probably the most initially, but I just don't think that they're ready to transfer that, those profits and stuff into anything right now, and so it might look like, okay, the Bitcoin layer 1 assets are following Ethereum, but it just might be time for them to allocate somewhere else first, because typically that starts to happen like all together, right? Like, yes, we know Ethereum runs first, but then like as Ethereum's running, other stuff pick up with it, because like they're like, okay, it's go time.
Yep. Yeah. Curious to see what happens, but I do think that Merlin and stuff like that, Merlin stacks kind of run with Ethereum, because Ethereum's not just like I'm talking about the asset itself, but Ethereum's kind of that flag that like, okay, it's here, guys. The alt season flag is running, and that's when Merlin stacks and dog and Ordi and Sats and stuff will really start running. But we'll see. Jump to the next thing here. El Salvador bought another 11 Bitcoin worth $1 million yesterday. So we know they got that funding, and they're going hard here. So if you're looking here, they started buying Bitcoin in like 2021. They bought 1 Bitcoin every single day. But as you can see here, this is just November, December. They bought 1 Bitcoin every single day since August 2021. One every single day, and just for the first time here, they bought I want to say 10, and now they bought 11. Does this continue? have they upped this from, you know, 1 Bitcoin a day to maybe, you know, 20 a week?
I don't know about 20 a week, but I think it does increase consistently while prices are the way they
Yeah.
are. But they are probably trying to have this DCA type of approach to this, because who knows if it goes down a little bit further, right? It could. Bitcoin could
Yeah.
continually go down some, right? And so they probably want to be really strategic about this, but they have obviously increased their purchase amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do expect them to increase it now. You know, are they going to use all of the capital that the IMF gave them? I don't know. I wouldn't think so, but who knows how they're going to approach it. One thing
Yeah.
we do know is that they've increased their purchase volume.
Yeah, I think this will be continuous. I think this is a once in a week buy. I think that every day they're going to continuously buy 1, and then once a week they're going to buy 11, buy 10. Well, 11 that day because it's still that 1. Right? So they've done this already. But they got to remember they got 1.5 billion dollars, and this is only $1 million, right? So that's why I'm thinking on the lines of, you know, 1 time a week, a few times a week. I don't know whether they just buy 10. You know, they have this strategic buying here of 1 every day, and then you've seen 10, and then the 1, and then you've seen the 1, and then 10. So and that's just like a 1-day thing. So that's pretty nuts. But yeah, I do. I think this will continue. I think they're gonna buy, you know, let's just say 500 days at $1 million. That's still only $500 million.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems like they're trying to build, or like they're starting to create a new pattern. I don't know, like 1, 10,
Yeah.
1, 10, 1, 10. Maybe that's
Yeah.
what they go with. Who knows?
But $1.5 billion, you could put a third of that, which is 500 million, right?
Yeah. I think so.
Let's jump to the next thing here. CZ came out with a tweet. He says the United Arab UAE holds 40 billion in Bitcoin. So he basically was saying that when Germany was selling, the UAE was one of the ones coming in and buying. So they were buying around the same time that Germany was selling. And they are up, you know, almost 50% on their buys. Pretty crazy. But how big is the UAE? You know, putting Bitcoin on its balance sheet. I mean, they already have a strategic reserve.
Yeah, this is no shocker. A lot of people have been talking about how, you know, the Middle East, more specifically, like, you know, Saudi Arabia and UAE, those type of countries, right? Maybe Dubai and was it Qatar and stuff. I don't know if they're going to get involved, but the UAE, no shock. Look, this is something that a lot of people expected of that region, and so now we're seeing it. We're seeing it kind of fulfill its what we've been talking about, right? Our assumptions.
Yep, I agree. Phoenix Group, UAE's first crypto company, plans dual listing on the Abu Dhabi Stock Exchange and the Nasdaq in 2025. This is a big deal, I think, right? Because this is another, you know, crypto company. I'm not sure what Phoenix Group does exactly, but they were the first crypto company in the UAE.
Yeah, UAE, big money, man,
Yeah,
right? Like they've been getting involved like with multiple things
yeah,
in terms of like big players. Like I know like Saudi with the golf league and stuff like that. And now this is big. Dual listing. You know, look, that whole region is starting to become like this crypto haven type of
yeah,
situation, right? So big. This also means like what the globe is looking at, probably what is the new norm, right? You have that region that's accepted crypto and Bitcoin more specifically as a big future potential, right, for asset class.
yeah.
So now probably start to see more of this, like maybe Singapore, Asia, different parts of Asia, Hong Kong, Seoul, and then the U.S. hopefully speeds up and tries to catch up here.
Yeah, and like Dubai, that's in the UAE, right?
So you know, I think it's Emirates. So United Arab Emirates. So I think that's actually like a region itself, but it's
Okay,
next to all that stuff,
I got
right?
you.
So
I
like
got you.
Dubai is like right next door. Saudi
Got you.
Arabia is not far, and all those countries have so much like wealth. It's
Because
wild.
of oil. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Next thing here, stablecoin issuer Tether has committed $775 million in the rising streaming video platform Rumble, which has adopted a Bitcoin reserve. So we recently went into Rumble because I was at Thanksgiving. My brother's somebody who watches a lot of gaming and stuff like that, and he told me that, hey, like a lot of crypto stuff's being pushed in my feed, and like I don't look at crypto stuff, but they're really pushing gaming and crypto and Rumble. So it got me interested. I was like, you know what? Yeah, maybe that's somewhere we should stream, because we stream live, the many places. We'll just add that one. And now Tether commits 775 million in the streaming platform. Why would Tether do this? Like, why? How does this benefit Tether?
Because Tether's like, they're beastly, man. I love,
Yeah.
honestly, like, I think a lot of times they've been investigated because they're looked at as a threat, obviously, right? From like these federal governments and stuff. But look, just shows them kind of flexing their muscles, saying, hey, look, we make smart strategic decisions. We have like our mining facilities, whether that's through hydropower in South America. We have, we invest in these types of different assets. Now, this is a new thing that they're kind of going into, something that's a bit mainstream, right? But I love this because now, this shows that they have conviction in Rumble to be that platform, right? For crypto and gaming and stuff like that. So watch out for Rumble, dude. At first, when you brought this up, I was a little shocked, right? I was kind of like, Rumble, okay, that's the conservative platform that a lot of people that got deplatformed on Twitter when Jack Dorsey was in charge of it went to. And so the fact that they're kind of pivoting to this, look, we want to focus on gaming and crypto, and then this follows up with that. I think that there's a big future here for Rumble.
Yeah. So is this investment by Tether is this to help Rumble to kind of push the narrative of free speech, or is this an actual investment? Because the stock shot up 40% on this news, the Rumble stock. Is this an investment in Rumble, do you think, to make money?
I think it's to make money. But also there's like so many like other benefits that come into it as well, right? Number one, it creates a platform that could be huge and compete with YouTube that is pro crypto. And then how YouTube is with like all of their regulations and stuff is tied into politics somehow, it seems like, right? Now this kind of just says, okay, we're going to support crypto and gaming, right? So it's not political necessarily, it's more, and I guess like a bit like I guess showing a little bit more interest, and maybe people will say favoritism towards those industries. But hey, look, that benefits Tether in the fact that there will be a great like stock and also a great business model, as well as the crypto industry itself.
Yeah, I agree. I love this, and I love that like we found Rumble right before, because we were in Nashville, and we walked by a stand, and it had that the British guy. What's his name? He's a British conservative guy. He used to be a comedian. Russell Brand.
Yeah.
We walked by Russell Brand, and he was at a Rumble booth. He was like doing an interview with the Rumble, and
I remember
that was
seeing
like
that.
that was the first time it was clicked to me for like, oh, Rumble's like a YouTube competitor, and like that kind of stuck with me then. And then on Thanksgiving, hearing people talk about it as pushing gaming, because it's always one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, you have your right, you have your left, and this they're kind of pushing there, but it's stupid for them not to stay that way now that we have a very conservative president who's not going to allow this type of censoring happening anymore. So now they have to pivot and be more than that, right? Be more than just a censorship resistant platform. Now they got to be, if they want to compete, they got to push out content, real good content. And I think that's what you can get, because like when we're on YouTube, and I'm not sure if you guys know this, but we get emails all the time saying this has been delisted for monetization, this has been delisted for monetization, just for saying Trump, right? Just for saying a few words that the algorithm catches and kind of suppresses that content a little bit. So I love this with Rumble, and now hopefully this kind of stops YouTube from doing that.
Yeah, I think it will. I actually wouldn't even say like the new administration's like overly conservative. I would just say they like to follow
censorship resistant.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah. All right. This one's really cool. 31% of all known Bitcoin holdings are in the possession of government's ETFs, and MicroStrategy up from 14% last year. This is a pretty cool chart. It's pretty crazy though. Obviously, we got the ETF this year, but as you can see in December 2023, we saw exchanges have a huge amount of Bitcoin, and we saw the miners have a huge amount of Bitcoin. And then the ETFs were, like half the size, ETF and funds. So this is including, this isn't including MicroStrategy. But as you look here, the government side, this little slide right here is the governments. This is the US and Germany and stuff. But now you look over here, the miners have gotten smaller. The exchanges have gotten cut in half almost. Governments have gotten 4 or 5 times as what it was over here. And then the ETF funds as well got a lot bigger as well. So what is this? What are these charts telling you?
Yeah, that governments and ETFs are eating it up, along with MicroStrategy. Those three right there. Everything else has gotten smaller, except for public companies. Public companies, and I think that kind of follows in suit with like the other three that grew, because public companies are trying to build like some sort of like safety net security type of reserve, right, as well. So the ones that grew make a lot of sense, but you can see DeFi actually shrunk almost half. Meaning that wrap BTC probably doesn't have as much, that has been transitioned out, some of that as well as, but the weird thing is that we've seen that like on this pie chart shrink in half, but now there's even more like synthetic versions of Bitcoin, because I think people are realizing how precious Bitcoin is. And so if they can build a strong synthetic, backed by real Bitcoin, then that, bodes very well for their TVL, for their project, for all these things. And we're seeing a lot of that this cycle. I didn't notice that last cycle, but this cycle we're noticing it. And Coinbase actually found out today that they're no longer accepting deposits of wrap BTC, because they have their own CBD BTC. So this is very interesting. Very interesting. So the ETFs before, though, that's Grayscale, right? Because December 2023, there was nothing there.
Well, so there was Canada had a ETF. Canada has an ETF. Yeah, Canada has ETF for since last cycle. There was a few other countries with Bitcoin ETFs. So, but so it's very small in that sense, but it's definitely doubled. But DeFi. Do you see this growing for next year? Let's just say like what do you think December 2025 looks like in the sense like? Where does, let's just say if you think DeFi grows, where does it come from?
I don't know. I mean, there's an obvious like really intentional growth effort from MicroStrategy, governments, and ETF funds. Like that's very obvious. You can see that. Like, even though the public companies grew, it didn't grow like how those three did. Right. So I think it's gonna be really hard to, take this. Actually makes me wonder, like in the future, even synthetic Bitcoin is gonna be like probably, there's gonna be a big race for that, and then maybe they're gonna, it might be cutthroat eventually. You know what I'm saying? To where they try to like knock each other out and stuff like that to utilize their version of it. But it's kind of worrisome a little bit, right? Don't you think? Because does that mean like DeFi activities with like wrapped Bitcoin like gets pushed out, or how do you see that?
So how DeFi works is you chase yield, right? You try to find the best yield. But you have to understand that these products can go away. They can just steal your Bitcoin and just, hey guys, we are insolvent, right? So right now, obviously, there's not enough risk versus reward, but I think that comes. I think once projects come out and say, hey, we can do some cool stuff with Bitcoin using like the government's, like CFI, right? So when the government starts to allow Bitcoin borrowing lending, if you can go to Fidelity, if you can go to all these other places, deposit your Bitcoin and earn a yield, that's going to allow things like DeFi to happen, because those companies are using these FDIC certified banking solutions to make yield and then give you a percentage of it, because you're doing it in the DeFi way, right? So you're going to have these type of things pop up that it's, hey, you don't have to go to Fidelity yourself, we can do it for you. And I think that's when DeFi is really going to open up, is when these government entities, these banking solutions come and offer a yield for Bitcoin. Because I think those yields are going to be really big in the beginning. because they're going to be competing with each other.
So this can go two ways, right? This can go in a way that so I think you're right. I think there's going to be banks that get involved with this, and they create a system that's more traditional to what we or like a product that's more traditional of what we see today in banks. But they offer the security of like you will always have money. You know what I'm saying? You will always have this because it's backed by this. Like maybe there's a new type of security blanket other than the FDIC with crypto and Bitcoin, but they will have something like that. Now, DeFi can like whoever creates these platforms to like Babylon or whoever, Bedrock or whoever, right? They're going to have to compete with that, right? So I think a lot of like traditional investors and big whales will pick the CeFi over that because of the security. They want security. They trust these institutions that have kind of guided them throughout their successful investment career. And then so the first way is that it stays this way, and then DeFi is like, okay, look, higher risk, but you get higher reward, like a significantly higher reward, but we can't guarantee to back this. Or the second thing happens and capitalism plays its hand, and it becomes a centralized world with Bitcoin in terms of like being able to like public companies get involved and compete with the banks. And then now we have like this big thing again. So it's one of those two ways it's going to go,
Yeah.
So
a lot of KYC, a lot of know your customer type of stuff. But I think so. I think going into December 2025, I think what it's going to look like. I think this right here is going to be miners and exchanges. I think the miners and exchanges are going to get so so much Bitcoin is going to be coming out of them. The miners know when to sell, right? The miners know that, hey, top of the cycle, let's take profit here. So I think this time next year, we're going to see a lot of people still thinking the bull market's going to go on, and it could, could go on for a few more months after that. But you're probably going to see exchanges and miners be in this area right here together. So that opens up all of this area. I think ETFs and funds actually become this entire thing right here. I think it's just going to be so massive. Most of the Bitcoin is going to be in these ETFs and these funds. Governments is going to be a lot bigger as well. So government MicroStrategy is going to be bigger as well. But I do think potentially
companies
Bitcoin
too.
and the DeFi stuff kind of goes, goes
I think
away.
public companies get bigger.
Yeah, I do too. But I think, like I'm saying, like what goes away, I think the DeFi kind of goes away, gets really small in that sense because CeFi is there. And you're going to be using CeFi because it's very centralized with your Bitcoin. Other stuff, I think DeFi is going to be really big with other things like, doing like runes and stuff like that. I think a lot of that stuff actually comes up with DeFi, more yield and stuff like that.
So what you just explained with like those pieces of the pie growing and taking almost like half, let's say it takes half of that complete pie, that is moving in the direction of gold's price movement.
Yeah.
Because ETFs and governments aren't going to sell off. Nope. So that means that MicroStrategy might be a wild card because like they want it in and out like at different times, but maybe not, right? Let's say they stick to kind of that what governments and ETFs do. Yeah. Then at that point you have a large supply that's not being sold off, even if the markets are not great or if the markets are great, it doesn't matter because it's not an individual mindset of investing. It's a this is solid, so how long do you think it takes to get there? Because that's a slow price movement, like with like how gold is, right?
Yeah, I think just changing to 5. I think it's next year. I think a lot's going to happen in these next 12 months.
Slows down in terms of price trajectory starting next year.
Oh, I think we're going to hit 700K and then slow down. Yeah, I do. I'd slow down for a couple of years and then take its run up to 6 million in 2028, 2029.
It's gonna be interesting, that's for sure.
Yep. All right. Over the last 1.5 months, MicroStrategy and BlackRock together purchased 305,000 Bitcoin. That's a lot of Bitcoin. That's a lot of Bitcoin. That's just in the last month and a half. Keep moving here. $9 billion Van Eck says U.S. could reduce $90 billion Van Eck says the U.S. could reduce its national debt by 35% by establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve. How would that work? How do you reduce your debt by buying Bitcoin with?
I think they're
with new money.
Well, obviously they're thinking about like if you do sell some of this down to pay off your debt, right? But I think they're talking about like the projection of Bitcoin growing and what that could look like. But this is experimental, right? Obviously, I mean, they have had gold reserves and stuff like that, but not to really tackle like an issue like debt. And it's so crazy because like when you hear about our government talking about the debt, they're like they laugh about it. They're like, the only way you can get rid of blah 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 trillion. It's almost kind of like they don't even want to try. And I think that's been the mentality for so long that like they don't even look at the debt as like a negative thing anymore. Except for like the people that are looking at it and trying to come in and fix it. Now, I don't know. I'm not, a specialist and I'm not an economist. So I don't know what it would take for this to happen. But Van Eck is in that field of finance, right? So
yeah. Well, think about it. Think of that. They add Bitcoin, right? At, let's just say they get in at like 200K. I think Bitcoin hits 6 million in the next 6 years. So to me, you 10x your value. So if you put, I don't know, 10, let's just say $1 trillion into Bitcoin over the next
it's a 30x
years, right? So that's a 30x. You potentially can 30x the Bitcoin, and let's just say over 20 years, you might get a 60x. Like I truly believe that. I truly believe that. I just think that, again, we just talked about ETFs and governments just buying and gobbling up, and they're not going to want to let it go. This isn't something that's going to be dumped on the markets in the future. Like it's going to go up. It has to go up in value. So MicroStrategy MSTR will be included in the NASDAQ 100 stock market index today. So that means they've been buying MSTR to kind of get this in that index. I'm pretty sure you have to own 1% of each stock that's in there, and MSTR has just entered. It's funny. I think one of the COVID shots that they got taken out, Moderna or something like that, got taken out for MSTR, and I thought that was
wow.
But yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep. To your point earlier, Coinbase announced November 19th. We must have missed this because I don't remember seeing this, that it would suspend trading of wrapped Bitcoin, WBTC, on December 19th, citing that it no longer met its listing standards. And to me, this is just saying we have BTC. We don't need this no more.
That's a jab, though.
Right. So.
That's a jab. Yep. But I mean, it's all good. Like, I think it's obviously a jab to Justin Sun because he's providing, I think, a lot of liquidity for it. But it's also like, this is one thing that I'm really liking what I'm seeing is that like there's big companies that are taking like strategic moves within crypto right now. And like Coinbase, for example, this is very strategic, for them to remove wrap BTC. There's no issue with liquidity from my understanding with it or anything like that, but they want to make their platform stronger and what they can provide. And Base Chain is obviously their baby as well. So
yeah. And when you have CBTC now, right? Coinbase beat Bitcoin, it's kind of like, let's remove all the competitors.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yep. So. All right. Fear and greed. Let's get into this. So last week was at 83. Yesterday was a 73. We're pretty low. We're still greed, but we're getting pretty low.
We're still greed. I think after today, maybe no more greed for a little bit. Let's see, 70.
Dead on point. Congratulations.
Oh, yay.
Yep.
Got it.
So 83, 73, and 70. Where are we at tomorrow? Are we below 70 tomorrow?
Probably at maybe like 68, around there. Depending on how the second half of today goes, but like the first half of today definitely feels bearish. But yeah.
Yeah, man. All right. Let's kind of get into that roll call. Let's see who is here and who is number one. It's looking like one of our mods, Tim Baker, AOD Art, says graveyard. He did this at 8:51 in the morning. So shout out to Tim Baker, AOD Art himself. Oh, this was 8:30. This is 8:51 yesterday. It's crazy how sometimes YouTube puts them in the graveyard and sometimes it doesn't. But shout out to Tim Baker, man, with the early bird gets the worm. Choda is here. It says second. Yasher says dragging myself out of the graveyard. Merry Christmas, lovely people. Merry Christmas to you too, Yasher. Yasher says, and you guys, please get in touch with Fluid for my stake issue on the Fluid Pass. They do not answer their DMs and their Discord.
Didn't they correct that?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, you said you could stake this morning, remember?
Yeah, I mean, well, he's having an issue with his staking.
Separate.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a different issue. Yeah, maybe I'll put him in a room with
Bro.
Raul. Yeah. Mr. Hanky is here. PJNZ is here. Peanut butter jelly time. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo. He loves me and I love you. Shout out to you guys, man. Always here every single day. Chief Axel is here.
Hey.
Always amazing to have you, my friend. PJ WebJoe says, PJNZ, good to see you. See your fluid staking worked. Not sure if Yasher has the same issue. Me where nothing shows up. Your stake. Yeah, so that problem was fixed this morning. So check it again. Lackey Lukey is here. Let's see. Ordinal's tweets is here on Ordinal's chips. The brothers of destruction back to back. Shout out to both of you guys. Mempool Punk is here. Follow up by Gary D. He's here all last week and he's here again today. Shout out to Gary D. He said buy the dip ASAP. Yes, sir. Joko is here with his Goosenal. Shout out to Joko and Nagi. Here every single day as well. Let's go. Renstorm Punk or Renstorm Music. I don't know why I keep calling you Punk. Yo, good to see you guys again. Good to see you, my friend. Cheaty is here. What's up, guys? I love Cheaty, man. No is here with his Nuki. Shout out to No. And we got Mr. Sheedy. He said LFG. Smash that like button. Shout out to Mr. Sheedy. Patty Poo is here. Then we have Jamie Coin. Hi, sir. How about Merle Coin? Is it dead? I think it's far from dead. Far from dead. But that's just my opinion. Jerry St. Germain. Shout out to you, my friend. Says, does Ordi crypto price to go much higher in 2025? Not asking for the exact number, just an opinion. I think Ordi gets over $100 next year. What do you think?
Yeah, I do too. There's just too much like Chinese whale support for that. Once it kicks back up and dude, like quit freaking out about Merlin. It's like down 1% on the 24, and so is every other alt right now.
Yeah.
Pepe with Ordi is down 2.2%. Sats is down 3%. Dog is down 5%. So everything's pulled back, guys. Like Bitcoin is pulled down, and so don't freak out, guys. This is the time to actually look for liquidity to get in. In my opinion, that's what I'm doing.
The problem is people only look at their portfolio, so when they see Merle drop in, they're not looking at everything else. You know what I mean? They just see.
But they should. That's a pro tip.
100%.
Pro tip.
Yeah.
Zoom out.
Stever says Dubai is a city in UAE. Okay, I did not know that. Yasher says the head of clergy in Saudi Arabia made the Bitcoin and crypto halal, Islamic version of legal. Okay, so that area buy like crazy. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think it was kind of like on the like toting the line of like if it was against like their religion or it was okay to participate, and so they made it okay. So that's a big change for that whole group of people.
Yeah, I agree. Abu Dhabi is the capital of United Arab. Okay, that's good. And then we have Steve versus Rumble will accept tips on BTC and USD. Whoa, let's go! I did not know that. That's cool. That's really cool. That makes sense why they would do it now. That makes a lot of sense. Shout out to Steveverse, man. Always in the news. I walk alone here. So for the roll call, shout out to you, my friend. Kenta is here. I am down, but I am bis. I think. All right, let's go. Pelpa is here. Khalil says Starman, Superman himself. Let's go. Melt Monkey Design Studio. I love it. I love the name. That's pretty cool. TrustPay.sats is here. Shout out to you, my friend, with a hi. Let's see. Steamy J is here. Shout out to Steamy J every single day. Steamy J. Travis. Powerball.unisat. I love it. I love Powerball.unisat. Let's go. Shout out to Travis. We got Noon here. Is that how you say that?
Noon? No, new. I think it's just new.
Okay.
And then
shout out to
Twan.
Yeah. New Twan. Let's go. Happy Homer is here. My guy Mats is here. Shout out to Mats. Followed by Renstorm says, when was the video coming out? For linking videos. Sorry, I asked much. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Linking emails.
It'll probably be in January. As we're sitting right now. And then we have Zap Resky is here, followed by Johnny Himalaya.
Johnny,
our guy, man. Fair play to you, guys. Keep on delivering crypto news even during the Christmas holidays. Yes, sir. Shout out to Johnny. That's our guy, man. Yatcher says, shout out to Denzel Washington getting baptized. I like he's an old man, ain't he?
Yeah, he's old, but maybe he just came to that moment. We wanted to get
EMBK
baptized.
is here. Nighthawk UXL and Zap Press. He says, anyone handling Pizza Pets got to child with 11 and don't know if I should continue. Fees could be a problem. Yeah, I'm not really familiar with the Pizza Pets, man.
Well, there was a lot. From what I heard, there was like tens of thousands that like died. So
yeah,
it's tough. Like I'm not involved with that,
yeah,
but it obviously seems like a kind of last man standing game,
yeah,
right? I would hope that there would be like some point to where when it gets under 10,000 or 5,000, they like, okay, you don't have to like keep doing this.
yeah.
Fees can get crazy, but it's interesting. Yeah, dude, that's
Yeah.
shout out and you know, props to Trevor for and his team for doing that because it's definitely different.
Yeah, it's cool. And it seems like it's the first version of this, right? I think there's gonna be more and more of this in the future, which it's cool because there's not really much out there like this. So
Yep.
shout out to those guys. All right. Let's kind of get into the Bitcoin price action brought to you by BitPerp. Which I kind of messed up. We usually do price action before roll call, but today we did it
All
differently.
good.
But let's dig into it. Brought to you by BitPerp. BitPerp is going to be the leading leverage trading platform in the entire Bitcoin ecosystem. It's going to be absolutely insane because you're going to be able to do runes. You're going to do BRC20s. There's not many leverage platforms that allow you to do this. If you go to something like one of the newer ones, you just can't do runes, can't do BRC20s, can't even do Merle on some of them, but on BitPerp you'll be able to do your L2s, your L1 assets, and much more. Their trading contest is probably going to be early January. It's going to be awesome because it's going to be on Botonics, which is going to be the spider chain, and that's going to be fun to use for the first time. Just kind of checking that out through BitPerp.
Yep, exactly. And they actually have the connection on here. I'm not going to use their charts today, but I do want to show you because they do need to update the chart for the API for the pricing. But before we get into that, guys, if you're on the YouTube side, please smash that like for us, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications on so you know when we go live. On the X side, if you wouldn't mind sharing the space as well, we want to educate as many people and onboard them to the Bitcoin ecosystem, and hit that like as well. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys what the BitPerp new UI looks like, as well as kind of let you guys know maybe if you don't want to pay for a TradingView account, you can use their indicators. So let me share it. So this is the new UI, which I think looks very sleek. I showed this last week, but wanted to, they didn't have the indicators added. So you can add like if you want to just do the basics like stochastic and the MACD, you can add that here. But again, I'm not going to utilize their charts because they do need to update I think they're still working on this right here. But they did have the Botonics integration in. So if you do visit their site, bitperp.io, and hit the app, it will automatically integrate your testnet or the Botonics testnet RPC information to your wallet, and you can get ready for their paper trading competition. I think maybe actually they're holding off on that still. But anyways, I wanted to show you guys this. I think it's sleek, and you can utilize their indicators without having to, get a TradingView account. I am going to use TradingView though because the price is updated here. So I'm on my DGen chart, my 5 minute here. Let me change this to an hour. All right. So the hour looks very bloody and very not pro Bitcoin price action right now, right? We are down all the way to 92,900, right? So this was kind of an area we visited before, I think last week. Whenever it dumped that first time, but it barely wicked down here and then jumped right back up. Now we've slowly crawled, I would say, back down here. So how much further do we have? Honestly, who knows, but who also kind of cares, right? Like, unless you're in this, degen trading mode, which I would highly recommend against it, but not financial advice. It's just too volatile right now. You don't know what the swing is going to. We still have further to go down if you're going to hit that actual 20% drop down from 108, the top. I think it's like 80 something, mid 80,000s or something. So it could reach down there, guys. There's always liquidity pockets too, below and above. That never changes. That's something that's constant. But what I'm seeing for the hour chart for the second half of today is stay away from longs is what I'm seeing. Obviously, this is going to be oversold at some point. You see that we are below the 20-point mark on the stochastic RSI, right? So this blue number right here is the leading indicator line for the stochastic RSI. the hour chart's probably a safer time frame to see when this goes back up to like 20. Then you're trying to exit oversold, but maybe even like, wait till it gets to 25, 30 even, before like that momentum truly does shift back up and there's kind of the reversal. But for the second half of today, man, it just does not look great. You see these, the MACD is showing strong support for the sell side. You see the lead indicating line on the MACD, the blue is pointing almost straight down here. But look, there's always going to be some sort of, make up a recovery a little bit. But what it's been this morning is a lot of fake outs for that. So don't get caught in that trap. But anyways, so that's what I'm thinking for the second half of today. Let's move this to the 4 hour and we can kind of see how possibly Bitcoin can look for the next couple of days, which honestly I expect volume to be pretty low. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve, then Christmas on Wednesday. So probably just enjoy your time with your family, but that's probably what I'm going to see, expect to see too, is kind of no volume, little volume, chop back and forth the next couple of days until maybe Thursday or Friday where it gets more lively. So, just not much to look forward to, I don't think, the next couple of days. Thursday, Friday, maybe something different, a different energy comes into play. I do expect that because then you do have a little bit of pent-up demand from Tuesday and Wednesday, right, from traders. So maybe Thursday it gets a little bit bullish, and that's something that we can see. Right now we're seeing on the 4 hour that we are back into sell pressure, and on the stochastics it's looking like it wants to go down further. So yeah, probably just look at it maybe late Wednesday night, very early Thursday if you're looking to get into a new position. But that's what I'm seeing, guys. Sorry I couldn't bring you guys any good news for the holidays. So the good news is you get to focus on your family, which should be the case anyways during this time.
People still want to make money, right? So it's just kind of like Christmas is very draining on your wallet. So people are always just trying to make a few bucks. But do you see like the stock market really when that opens at 9:30? Do you really see like changes? I mean, we used to talk about before how like whatever it did before the stock market opened usually did the opposite. Are you still seeing that?
So I did see that this morning. There
Yeah.
was a little, it was kind of a bit of a climb up, a little bit of positive jolt price action for Bitcoin right before, but it was clean. It was like
Yeah.
price action upward from the regular retail and probably market makers, or maybe it was them outside of their operating hours. And then once 8:30 or 9:30 Eastern rolled around, it was down only, and it was straight. And I was actually looking at it because what I've seen the last week was a lot of once the TradFi guys opened, there was a lot of fake out. So it would open at 9:30, we'd see a big red candle, and then let's say 9:38, it had already reversed back up, and then it was an upward trajectory for the first half of that day. Today there was no fake outs. It was just straight up, like, you know what I mean? I mean, the only little fake outs that they tried to do was suck people in, it seemed like, and that could have been market makers trying to like add some buy pressure. And then the TradFi guys were like, nope, we're gonna scalp this or make a good profit off of this short here.
Yeah, no, I agree. We'll see if this continues to happen. I'm hoping eventually, man, we can just have like upward momentum and then kind of goes into the stock market, but we'll see. We will see. All right, so the title of the show today is "Don't Mess This Up." Last chance to get into Bitcoin ecosystem assets before liftoff. I want to talk to you about like how can someone mess up this bull market? Like, what are some ways and ideas, maybe what not to do to kind of make sure that you, are very satisfied at the end of this ecosystem bull market?
Yeah, I think that's the $1 million question, right? Humans always want more, but and I got to be careful here because obviously you guys know we never advise you guys to do anything in terms of investment. But what I could see happening is maybe somebody that had a little bit of experience from last cycle, and maybe they caught the very tail end of it or something, and then they come in and now they're getting scared out of their positions, and they think it's over, like the bull market's over, right? And I actually have seen a lot of that on TikTok too, which tells me that I'm seeing people that act like they've been around for a while, but haven't that much, talking about, you know, this the bull market's over and this and that, right? We haven't even got started in terms of the alt markets, right? And so that's where I think the biggest mess up would be like being scared out of your bags and selling at like this you know, these cheap prices, and then all of a sudden you're like paying attention to other parts of your life, you know, and then you get FOMO because everything starts to rise again, and then you just lost like, you know, a 30% gap between where you sold and where you rebought in, right? So
Yeah.
that's obviously, some people are going to do that because they're new, they don't have that experience. So that's one way. I think another way would be to maybe, if you aren't taking advantage of these cheaper prices as well. But again, that's relative to each person's situation. You know, because I'm never going to knock somebody for not having liquidity because they have to buy their kids presents for Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, actually, it'd be the opposite. If you didn't buy your kids presents because you bought something else, you know, and that Bitcoin that you bought better have go to your kids or whatever, right? Yeah. So what about you though? How do you look at it? This kind of title of today's show.
So one mistake that I've made last cycle, that I made a lot, was chasing green candles, right? Let's just say I'm in something and my asset's not going up, but I look over at this other asset that maybe I was interested in, and that's going up, right? So I would sell the asset that that I've been holding, that I believe in, right? I believed in those assets. That's why I bought them in the first place. But, at that point, I'm just getting that FOMO, just like, damn it, did I buy the wrong one? And I would sell my asset and then dump that into the new one. And that one would stop going up and maybe do a reversal or a pullback. And then my asset would run. Right. So I think my biggest problem, and I still suffer from this, is over trading. Over trading basically means that I'm convicted in stuff that I love. I know that these things are going to go up, but I'm just not patient enough to wait for my asset to go up. Right. And, taking profits is another thing that, maybe I do a little too early sometimes. And then sometimes I do it too late. Right. And so I think just understanding that that's going to happen as well. There's no changing that. But taking profits sometimes is better than not taking profits. So that's a decision that you have to make on everything. But that's another place where I mess up a lot. Right. I don't like, for instance, I sold track at, $3, and then track went to $8. Right. So did I make the mistake of selling too early? Yes. But I didn't fully round trip. You know what I mean? So those decisions are going to be hard. But the main thing you can do is just not overtrade. I almost, when track was at $7, I almost bought it back. And that would have been an even bigger mistake. So I just think that, knowing that, you made 10x, you made 10x. Don't get greedy either. But maybe not get all the way out. So it's the decisions that you have to do personally, but not messing this cycle up. I think this might be the last bull run. This might be the last 4-year cycle. I truly believe that. I think this is kind of the last one where we're going to see these boom and bust cycles. I don't even think that we get a tremendous bear market this time. I do think we get a bear market, just not that 60-70% dip that we saw last time on Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility, right? I still think there's going to be opportunities, but it's going to be more like TradFi-ish type of opportunities, where you have to stay in the market every day. So that benefits people like us, which it's our job, and then the people that watch the show every day. So I still think there's going to be tremendous opportunity in that case. But yeah, the 4-year kind of boom or bust type of thing might be faded off in the sunset, right? We just got, time will only tell if that's the case. But one thing too that I have really found very helpful, and this is a it's not necessarily the easiest situation to develop, but if you can find an accountability in some way of yourself, right? For example, Shizzy has his own stuff, obviously, and he runs that. I run my own stuff, but we have a joint interest in our corporate, our business type of portfolio management, and we bring two totally different perspectives when we go over that, right? And so, but what it brings us to is this middle ground of logic and rationality. And emotions a lot of times start kind of high on one side or the other, and then the other side kind of brings those, and we try to eliminate that, and it's done very well, in terms of cutting out what stuff that I don't want to say garbage, but stuff that we just don't have that conviction in, and moving into something that has more conviction. And I feel confident where that is, you know what I'm saying? And obviously we have our own thing on the outside too. So I don't know how someone that is in regular retail can develop that. Maybe your spouse or some sort of close friend. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I just think that every decision, maybe if you're thinking about it, maybe give yourself a few days of thinking about it, right? So for me, if you don't have that person that you can, hey, what do you think about this? And that person's just you're either your yes man or just totally against crypto to begin with, right? So you have to watch out for those type of people too, because you might have someone who's just
it has to be someone that's experienced, though.
Exactly, but that's the problem. Not everyone can find those type of people, right? So me and you, it's easy for us to find people like that because we've been here for 3 years. But I remember first getting in, I didn't know anybody in crypto, right? It was me and my earpiece, that's all I had, right? And then every person I listened to was telling me to get in something else. So it was it was hard. Yeah, it was hard in the early days of when you're first learning. But that's who I want the show to kind of try to help. It's just the people who are just getting in for the first time, and you find us randomly through YouTube, and you're just oh, the dog's not going up, but I see the Solana tokens going up, and that could be FOMO and over trading. But most of the time, if you just wait, sit on your bags, know why you bought them in the first place, and just wait and be patient, that could lead to bigger gains than over trading.
Yep. So yeah, I agree.
But the second part in this is last chance to get into Bitcoin ecosystem assets before liftoff. So do you think that this is the bottom right now for runes? Obviously, we had an upward momentum period, right? Where we've seen $1 billion cat go from $10 million market cap to 120, back down to 50. 150? Okay, yeah. Wow. So it's down like 50% since then. Well, more than that. So do you think that we've kind of bottomed out here?
I hope so.
Yeah.
but I also look at it as an opportunity as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, $1 billion cat's at 5 cents. It's at $51 million market cap. It was the highest that I saw. It was I think 155 or 161.
Yeah.
Between there. So you're looking at a 33%, no, a 66% pullback, right? From all-time highs. And so but one thing that if you look at the holder count is still there. So the conviction's still there with the holders, right? And then you see stuff like Dog pulled back to 682 million, Pups at 112. So everything's pulled back, in terms, they're all relative. All the stronger ones are relative to each other in terms of the pullback. But I look at it as an opportunity. Now, can it go further down? Of course it can. Anything can always go further down, right? But do I look at it as an opportunity? Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. So I've noticed this badged thing. Have you seen this yet?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. So if click this, guys, don't mess with the all. Stop messing with that. You're gonna end up making a mistake. Just go to badged. I love this now, dude. I love it because I can actually see the assets that I want to see, and I can actually use these categories now, trades and stuff like that, without getting a bunch of bullshit, right? So if you go to all, you see fake trades and fake volume and fake holders, but here you kind of get the full aspect of everything Magic Eden is deeming to be legit, which is awesome. So I love that.
Well, the only problem where that could come in is if you're trying to get into something new, but you probably wouldn't utilize Magic Eden anyways. Well, I'm just saying there's people that trying to get that quick flip in and out. The only thing I guess you would probably use something like Luminex or another platform for that anyways, right? Something that you can see the volume, how many holders and volume. You can see that here, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, 100%. But I would even say, maybe not get into those right away, because what happens, they mint out and they dump.
Especially right now.
Exactly. So
yeah.
maybe wait for that check mark. Maybe that check mark is a bottom signal, or maybe getting that check mark is a way to, they're legit. So I don't know. I don't know how it works, but like again, that goes into over trading. If you're someone who just wants to buy newer tokens, you just be smart with it, because a lot of those just kind of get ripped. But you could have gotten something like Gizmo and did really well. So I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand. But I want to take a look at this really quick. So we get Dog up 1% on the day, Pups up 0.25, Billionaire Cat up 7% on the day, Gizmo up 21% on the day, Cypher Genesis up 20% on the day, and Arsic up 2%, and even Bitcoin Bro Bears. So we're seeing a lot of green, a little bit of red here and there.
Gotta have some green whenever there was so much red for the week before.
that is true. That is very true. But is this a sign of bottoming here?
It depends, right? Like,
yeah,
it depends on like what happens for the rest of this year. I think a lot of people mentally are kind of checked out with like Bitcoin's price action for the rest of the year. But again, they weren't the ones that were pushing the price up anyways. It's like these entities and governments and stuff like that. So I don't think that really matters. So maybe we don't see any type of like energy back into the space until next year, which is 8 days from now. So I don't think we have to wait too long.
Yeah, man, I agree. All right, but it is Monday and it is 12 p.m. Eastern time, guys. And if you watch the show, you know what that means. That means it is officially Merlin Monday. So shout out to you guys. We have a great segment for you guys today. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting. We can get started.
Yep. All right, let's dude, we have 515 people in here. Let's go. It's probably because no one else is doing a show, but no, the Ordinal show is live and stuff like that. So appreciate all you guys watching the show. I know you guys are all here for Jeff, so let's bring him up. Jeff from Merlin Chain, the founder of Merlin Chain. Welcome back to Merlin Mondays.
What's up, guys?
How are you doing?
Man?
Yeah, I think this is great. Having a show like around the Christmas season, basically everyone in the West just like went to vacation and stuff. We're in contact with several teams, exchanges from the West, but they're just not responding this week. So it's like the holiday season. But this brings me back to old times, like last year when nobody's actually like when market was really bad, but nobody was being vocal. Talking about ecosystems, like nobody was on Twitter space or podcast, but every day we have an Ordinal show, we have a different people talking about Ordinal stuff. So I think that is what matters. No matter the market is good or bad, but we're still here.
Exactly. I remember those days as well, and that is one thing about people that were in that in this ecosystem, the Bitcoin ecosystem, starting from like almost 2 years ago, right? Like building has really been the main focus for the people that are still here today, and you're one of those people. Today's topic is making Bitcoin fun again through UX, user experience, right? But before we jump into that, I wanted to give you the stage to be able to update the audience, because we have a lot of people in here on what's going on with Merlin Chain, what are the latest updates, and maybe you can hit on btc.fun and what that looks like in the near future.
Yeah, so we're basically preparing everything for these future DApps. Actually lots of updates. Let me think one by one. Like I never had a script or anything. I just like think of anything comes to my mind. First, I think very, very importantly, people are not familiar with, BTC gas. No matter, you're from BTC layer 1, when it comes to Merlin, you have 0 gas, right? Or other people from, other chains come to Merlin, they have some Merl token, but they just don't have gas, and they don't understand, like, what is gas? BTC, how can I bridge Bitcoin to Merlin to do transactions? So that has always been, pain in the ass for us, for everyone. So I think a big update will be, if you withdraw, Merl token from exchanges to any on-chain address, no matter it's a bot, it's a MetaMask wallet, or it's a, Unisat wallet, Xverse wallet, anything. If you just withdraw Merl from any other exchange, we have a protocol that airdropping you, enough gas to do like, 5 to 15 transactions. So you don't have to worry about gas anymore. Just withdraw some Merl token, and if you want more gas, you can go to Merlin Swap to use Merl token, swap more BTC. But that's it. So I personally believe this will solve the problem. Once and for all. It will be there forever. It's not a campaign, lasting for like 2 weeks or what. I guess it's gonna be there forever, unless we figure some people are actually using this to attack the network or to get Bitcoin from us. But probably not. Like one day I was actually thinking about like how can we solve this problem. We have a team, have meetings about this for a long time, and I just think if we withdraw, we detect that, and we will airdrop you gas fee. That solves everything. And also, that would be great news for BTC Fund, because there are many people using bots to trade. Every bot, Rush memes, Pink Punk, Universal X, UX UI, every one of them had a campaign about deposit Merl, will give you gas in 24 hours, which was also a pain in the ass. Like lots of human being has to be part of this process to check if you're a bot or not. So basically that shows how people need gas for trade memes on Merlin. So I think that will solve problem for them too. BTC.fun, I think they had a public testing tonight in Asian time, so probably like 3 hours ago. I think 3 hours ago. So I haven't read the full report yet, but I assume majority of the activities are doing well. It's an internal testing with hundreds of internal community members, but that was done. So basically you can see this gonna happen very soon. Like when I say like this time very soon, it's probably very soon because like everything's tested on the mainnet. And Timon, the Telegram the app, they had great news last week. They have about like over 2 million users now. They're #1 trending the apps on Telegram, by the Telegram official. So I think that's great, for Bitcoin the apps to be on the top one for any the apps on Telegram. That shows traction. That shows people are interested. And their first campaign with Party was over. Users will get airdrop of Party very soon, and that airdrop will be much easier because it's gonna be airdrop directly to your centralized exchange account, so you don't have to worry about gas or anything. Just will be deposited into your account. You can sell, you can buy, do whatever you like, but it can be you will be deposited into your centralized exchange account. And the Timon is going to have a huge campaign starting Wednesday, so like 2 days after. They will have some whitelist high level users to use the function first. Everybody will get 1 free Bitcoin, real Bitcoin, and to do some farming, to do some DeFi. So when you don't have enough Bitcoin to do all this BTC5 thing, if you spend some time and money on Timon, you will have a free Bitcoin to try the BTC5, right? Because before, if you have 1 Bitcoin native Bitcoin network, you probably are worried about bridging 1 Bitcoin to some random chains to do some farming, right? Because it's $100K now. I mean, like 97, 95, but it's a lot of money. So people are afraid to do that. But right now, you will have 1 free Bitcoin to do so, and I think that will gradually educate the market about what is BTC5, because we talked about that for so long, and very few people try that. To be honest, like I'm very bullish on BTC5, but I have to admit every time, not enough people have tried BTC5 before, because Bitcoin is so precious. People don't want to risk 100% loss to do some DeFi for like 10%, 20% APY. And that's about like what I have in my mind right now. But that's a lot of things. Yeah.
So with Timon, real quick, when you say you get a full Bitcoin, could you explain that a little bit? Because people are just probably sitting like, I got $300,000, but could you kind of explain what and how that works?
Yeah. So basically, we have, I guess, 4 parties here. Yeah, I try to explain this as simple as I can. 4 parties here. One is, everyone, one of us, right? We want to do BTC5, but we just don't have enough Bitcoin, or we don't want to risk, losing that Bitcoin. So that's us, retail users. One is all these DeFi projects, like, ZK Sync, Starknet, Bear Chain, Movement, all these multi-billion-dollar ecosystems. They want Bitcoin liquidity. because they have Ethereum, they have stable coins, but they want Bitcoin liquidity. So they give millions of incentives every month to ask people to bridge their Bitcoin to their ecosystems. And third party is the whales. The whales have tens of thousands of Bitcoins. They don't have time to study, to look through all these protocols. They don't have time to do all this bridge farming, finding what's the highest incentives on each ecosystems, like all of that. So that's the whales. So basically, and the fourth party is Timon. They're basically the gateway for all these things to happen. So the whales will join this vault. This vault will be open first time for 1,000 Bitcoin, which is fulfilled in less than an hour. So the vault is fulfilled, and the users can claim Bitcoin from the vault to do all this farming. And the whole process is using Timon Guardian. They have MPC solution. They have multiple, restaking procedure to make sure this money is safe. Because when the money is lost, the whales is going to, be very, very upset. So they're going to, make sure all this process is safe. That's why they're using MPC solutions. In EVM ecosystems, MPC is actually the safest solution for all. But in Bitcoin, people don't like multi-sig whatever. But actually, MPC is very, very advanced. So they're using this method to make sure everything is safe during the DeFi farming. And the users are the ones who have the freedom to choose. I like zkSync better than Tyco. I like this lending protocol better than DEX. So basically, the retail are going to choose whatever protocols they're trying to farm. And eventually, they're going to have some profit sharing system there. But it's free Bitcoin for you. So basically, everything you farm and the shares is free money to you.
Oh, amazing. So I give back when I'm done. I give back the Bitcoin, but I keep everything that I've earned.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
I think there's a percentage, like the person lending out gets a little percent, right? Because it wouldn't make sense. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen real quick that shows like the Timon app. So by the way, for the audience here, you can find this by, I believe, searching Timon on X, which we'll put in the actual X tag for Timon in the show notes. But that's how I got here. So you create an account, you start all these daily tasks, and it gives you points, as you can see here. You have these golden tickets and these diamond, I think it's like a diamond ticket too. And they're kind of like scratch offs. I won one USDT yesterday because I didn't realize what I was doing, but I used one of my scratch offs and I won one USDT. So that's pretty cool. All right, so you just go through this, like these checklists, right? So you go through all this stuff, and then you can go to the bonus tasks, which will give you extra stuff, right? And then you just keep racking your points up. So basically, Jeff, can you tell me, like, the whole objective is to get more points, and then once you get to a certain level of points, then you qualify for receiving that 1 Bitcoin to stake. Is that how it works?
Yes. So guess how many points I have right now? Take a guess.
Probably like I imagine you probably have like maybe like 500,000 or something. I don't know.
6 million.
Oh wow. Okay, so I'm a nobody. I'm a nobody here.
Yeah. So basically, the first campaign was about party. So people are farming points crazily. Overall, they're like the number like 26, 25 ranking on the revenue ranking on Telegram, because people are spending money to farm points for the first party campaign. The reason is because people have a high expectation. So basically, when you go to the game and when you click on the diamond scratch, yeah, can you go to the game tab? Yeah,
the game tab.
Yeah,
what, this one?
Tab. No, down below, the second tab. Yeah, so this is like the golden scratch. This is the diamond scratch. They have already given away like 50,000 to 100,000 US dollars. So when you do that game, you will have like a kind of like, a pretty high winning rate, to be honest. You can try this, for like $5, $10, whatever. But you have a pretty high winning rates. But at the meantime, you will have like lots of more points. And people believe, if you spend $100 here, you will get $200,000, $3,000 worth of party back. That's what people are expecting. So that's why they do the points farming really, really hard for the first campaign in 2 weeks. And the highest, top 1,000 users will have the whitelist for the BTC5 campaign as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think I used mine, but if I press play, okay, so I gotta get another diamond ticket. Okay, cool. So I guess like you could also win a Tesla iPhone 1000 USD match 3 symbols in a row. Okay, cool. So that's awesome. Okay, so like what would I look at in terms of being able to qualify for that like yield utilizing that Bitcoin? How would I research that on this app?
It hasn't been released yet. It's gonna be released on Wednesday. It's gonna be like first whitelist. So basically, for the first month, it's gonna be whitelisted for the really loyal users. But after the first month, it's gonna be public because for the first campaign, it's a lot of Bitcoin. They're afraid of risks. If they have like 2 million users have Bitcoin there, it's gonna be like a mess. So for the first month, it's gonna be like 1,000 users who are really really loyal and active on the app.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, see, I earned 1 USDT yesterday. I don't know what I did, but I got it.
Yeah, many people
I'm
in
still
the
not
Chinese
sure.
community. Yeah, many people in the Chinese community, won, the Mac, 1,000 US dollars. Like we saw that every day. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So at the end of the day, the main objective of this is to be able to bring awareness to new projects as well as, incentivizing people to help with that, right?
Yeah, like so the first campaign was party. It's basically, giving party 2 million users from Telegram. And imagine like the second campaign, it will bring more users. And that is beneficial for the token as well, because the central exchange love a token with lots of retail users because they want more users from their exchange.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Real quick, if you're someone who's trying to get involved with Simone, all you have to do is put in Simone. Just make sure that it's the one with 233,000.
Well, I put the link in there.
Yeah. I'm just saying, but just
Okay.
make sure you guys are, looking and seeing what the subscriber count is. If you go do it yourself, and just when you get to the Simone, just scroll up all the way up to the first comment, and you'll see the open. So that is how you can, and the app just pops up after you do that.
So awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, so love that. I got involved with that. We put the link in there. There was some people asking for the link. I think it was Mike Bennett because there are scam links on X, so be careful with that. So we dropped the actual Telegram link in the chat so you guys can utilize it there. All right, Jeff, what about BTC.fund? That's obviously a lot of people are wanting to be able to launch their own tokens and stuff like that. Could you give an update on that?
Yeah, I think the function is fully tested, waiting for the final answer. I think the marketing plan, we have like today we had a meeting with them. We had like over 10 marketing marketing campaigns. So just like be aware of the campaigns because it's gonna be, like lots of campaigns that incentivize you to be the creator or to be the trader. So pay attention to that campaign. For example, if you create a successful token, which means it got mint out, you will get a lot of money. That is one thing I can say here. So it encourages people to launch new tokens, to get new community members, to do a successful culture for any means. And I think Party is doing pretty well. After 2 weeks, the transaction volume is pretty high. The trading volume and transaction number is pretty high. They're having an LP campaign. So right now it's about like $1.2 million liquidity pool. I expect this number to be at least double in a couple of days. So what else in my mind? And yeah, they're having some upgrades. I listened to their next version meeting. So it's going to be some exciting updates. For example, if you have the token in your wallet, you will be in the same kind of Discord group, but not really Discord, but like BTC Fund group on the website. So you can find people who have the same token, at the same time, talk to them, get the meme culture there, spread the news on Twitter, on social medias, and they're going to add live stream. Basically, you create like if they create live stream, probably I will be there 10 hours a day. Just create a new meme, be on the camera, talk shit, talk to different people. I think that'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun for people who can see the actual person who creates token. So yeah, there are going to be lots of updates, but the first version I think is fully tested. Just wait for the right timing to launch. But yeah, I would say definitely, I expect them to launch, before like in 2024.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
so
we got 8 days.
8 days. That's exciting, dude. That could be great for like the New Year, stream to start launching some of these meme tokens. But the biggest thing that I got out of that was, if you launch a Rune or BRC20 on BTC.fun, it gets fully minted out. You get rewarded to create like a successful launch. And I think that's huge because depending on what the reward is,
it's really high.
There could be a lot of launch.
Yeah,
it's really high. So okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to launch some meme coins.
So the reward will be in stable token. So it's not like we're going to give you like Merlin token. You have to sell it again. Like we don't want to sell. Just like it's very very plain and simple. We don't want to give Bitcoin. Just stable coins. And we prepare like 7-digit for the first month to reward the people who create meme tokens. Yeah.
That's crazy. Big. Is it going to be tiered? Like for example, if like one has like this much liquidity that comes over, then you get like a percentage of it, or would it just be like everybody?
Yeah, it's gonna be like a percentage. So imagine you create a token which needs 20 million Merlin token. Basically, you are going to be a millionaire after you launch this successfully. So it's gonna be like people are going to thinking like different ways trying to launch a token who gets volume and traction. But as long as you make this like you create this successfully, you can be like taking a lot of money, and you don't have to file a form or anything. It's gonna be like automatic. You create this meme. We have these in systems.
Address.
It gets successful launched, you'll get airdrop. So you have to like contact anyone. You will just get money in your wallet, deposit that into exchange, and you'll have some real money.
Wow.
That's I'm going to try the cereal thing. I'm going to sit on stream and say if this goes to the bonding curve, we'll dump cereal over myself.
You got to put yourself in a dog crate, bro. Have your son lock you up. No, that's going to be interesting. But okay, cool. All right, so we do have 2 guests down below. We have David from Bitcoin OS and Fonzie from Ordinal Hive. Unfortunately, Jake from Emblem Vault had something come up, and Mr. J, I think he caught whatever you had last week, Jeff. So he's out this morning. But let's bring both of the guests up as well, and we can kind of get into the topic. But we'll obviously let them talk about what they are bringing to Merlin as well first. But let's welcome David and Fonzie to the stage. How are you guys doing?
Hey guys, how are you?
Yo, it's GM. Yo, I say so what we do is she's on a cage, and then your kid locks away the key, and we can get out. So it goes and pumps out.
Yes.
It's like 1:30 in the morning.
Oh man, is it? Okay. So thank you for taking out your time. Obviously, it's super late for you guys. Okay, so let's start off with David from Bitcoin OS. Could you explain to the audience what Bitcoin OS is and how it connects with Merlin Chain?
Sure. It's a good time to bring it up, actually, because we just released our technical roadmap and gave another technical overview. But essentially, the whole system of Bitcoin OS is built around the ability to do some kind of fraud-proof challenge on Bitcoin, some kind of fraud-proof challenge of a ZK proof. And we are building that ability to verify those transactions on Bitcoin. We did our first verification in July, and now we're expanding the use case for the verifications into verifying lock and unlock transactions on the Bitcoin side, or mint and burn transactions on the target chain. So when we can read, when we integrate and we can read Merlin, for example, we can read a burn transaction from Yagobi, on the Merlin chain, which corresponds to mint over there, and vice versa. So that's really we really show that there are a lot of things you can do with ZK. You can potentially write the state of a chain, batch transactions, sequence transactions into a ZK proof as well, with recursive proofs reading out of the block headers. So you could potentially have real rollups from other chains back to Bitcoin. So that's another use case. We call that Merkle Mesh. We haven't decided on the name yet, but we call that Merkle Mesh in the roadmap. And then the last thing we're working on and making a lot of progress on is the programmable token standard. We think it's a first, but think of the fact that you can represent some smart contract logic inside a CK proof that is inscribed onto a token that sits on Bitcoin. So it could be some future cash flows from a loan or from a staking protocol, etc. We're also planning to make these things permissionless. So if someone wants to use our vault, Grail, they can do that. Some people use that to lock and mint. Some people might use that just to secure collateral. Yeah, we can get into all that later, but yeah.
Awesome.
We're essentially serving all these chains and the existing infrastructure sitting in between that and Bitcoin.
Yeah. Awesome. So, right now, Bitcoin layer 2s are kind of, they're in this group together, but it from a technical standpoint, it is more of a marketing, I guess, naming of it. It's people break it down. They say they're more like side chains. Would Bitcoin OS allow that to be more like a true layer 2 to where you can, do transactions that are verified on Bitcoin?
That's right. Simply put, that's right. And we do that through a network of nodes, boss nodes. This is where that's where the token comes in as well, because the nodes are using the token, and these nodes do things like verify ZK proofs, check proofs against challenges, dishonest provers, monitors the system, runs the smart contracts for the bridge, etc. So
Gotcha.
The boss token comes into play.
Awesome. Yeah. So the topic of today is making Bitcoin fun again through user experience, right? So what could Bitcoin OS, if you can think of a way that it can make the everyday Merlin Chain user have a better experience with something like a Bitcoin asset or something like that? Is there an example you can give?
I think at some point down the line, we can maybe help them abstract away some of these things so that when you deposit into the Grail vault and you mint Grail BTC on Merlin, you automatically mint that into a BTC native DeFi protocol, an aggregator of some kind. Why not? Because we think that there's some people that will not want to swap their Bitcoins anyway. They just want to move Bitcoin and keep the Bitcoin delta, right? And so they just need to know that it's sitting in the safest / most rewarding BTC DeFi protocol on Merlin, if that's what they're comfortable with. So you can abstract away that and have an app on top of a vault, just like your bank account, for example.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people kind of trying to bring a solution similar to Bitcoin OS. So, do you think there'll be like multiple successful VMs, or do you think there's going to be like, just like a couple or maybe even only one that ends up being the solution?
I think it's going to take some time for everybody to build all the parts that they need to build in the way that they are inclined to build. I think people will learn from each other along the way. And it's going to take time to reach enough testing for mainnet and then reach permissionless nodes. But despite that, I think we could see the whole system run live in Q4 and beyond next year. With some of these systems, at least we hope we are able to demo these systems on mainnet, on Bitcoin mainnet, and let's say Merlin mainnet, at least do a demo transaction with a node, a vault transaction that gets verified through BitSnark, and a proper mint and burn on mainnet at some point next year in Q1, to at least show that it's possible, and then spend Q2 doing integrations and testing, and Q3 to scale things up, and then run things at scale in Q4, something like that. But awesome. I think on the UI side, this is we're not as focused on that, but we are starting to think about how to make all this as seamless as possible and as uncomplicated as possible, and just try to take the experience away, abstract away as much as possible. I think would be.
Yeah, I think that's going to be important, right? Because that's really how you onboard a lot of people. The technical side, it takes the headache away from developers, but end users don't really give a crap about like how everything works in the back end. They just want it to be easy, right? So that's awesome. So that's my last question actually is about testnet. So is that something that you guys will have next year, early next year, for people to test out, or because that's the big question right now surrounding VMs and Boss more specifically?
I think it depends on how quickly we open source, and that depends in turn on audits that need to be done in Q1 as well. So yeah, that's largely a function of that. Once we open source things, we make them permissionless. If you want to build your own, if you're Aave and you want to use the Grail Vault technology and a network of node verifiers that are Boss nodes, and that's permissionless, you're welcome to spin up your own Grail BTC collateral pool, right? And I think the cool thing about Grail BTC, everyone has their own different security assumptions, but the 1 out of n security assumption is actually very, very significant, especially when the number n goes like very high. Because you're going to investigate these transactions, you will always find out who is bluffing. And if you can design it so the economics make sense as well, and you can make it an efficient process to run on Bitcoin, which we believe we can, then you can replicate a lot of the CK verification, and you will always find out who is lying. So even if you only have one honest player in this whole system, that honest player can overrule everybody else. So if you have 1,000 people, they can be overruled by one in theory, which is like 0.001%, so like 1 basis point, 0.0001%. So I think that's pretty significant. So we're hoping to bring, more TVL, secure more TVL, work together with all kinds of apps and chains that want to build like this, as long as we can open source this stuff.
Yeah, I think it's important to open source it though, just so other builders can build on top or help you guys kind of expand it. But did you have any questions for David?
Yeah, I'm curious. Is there anything that's like being built on Bitcoin OS right now? Is it just teams contacting you guys to kind of build on it, or you guys just mainly want to be that bridging solution?
Starting to see. I think we just did an announcement with Bima. It's a Bitcoin-backed stablecoin, that a protocol where you can borrow against your Bitcoins, and they put your stablecoins into CDFI type strategies, and you can also bring liquid stake token, etc. So we're starting to see people come and say, hey, I want to use your vault to secure this, or maybe I'm building staking and I want to use your locking mechanism for the staking. And we're getting these kind of queries, as well as chains coming to us to talk about integrations on a higher level. Those integrations we hope to build together with these chains. That's doing some outreach here as well, because sometimes people come and say, hey, like, have you finished building the integration to my chain yet? And you're like, bro,
who are you?
Bro, like, who are you? Like, why do I owe you this and whatnot, But and like you don't own our token. We haven't done anything, but good builders, I think they just want to know, because there's so much other media out there, so much marketing, that they just want to know if anything is being done. But I think inviting people to DM us and just reach out if you want to be part of building your chain. Your chain best, the consensus mechanism, the VM, what the smartest guys are doing, who they are. So let's put some working groups together and work on it. I think that would be the most efficient way. But generally speaking, EVM is pretty open, pretty straightforward, and that covers tons of chains. And then including Merlin, right? And then having building stuff on Polygon CDK, which we're experimenting with now, covers a lot of the same CDK that the Polygon CDK that Merlin uses.
Yep. Jeff, I'm curious on your opinion how some VM can make a user experience better.
I got to step off for just a second.
Yep, no worries.
Sorry?
I'm curious of what your opinion is and how something like Bitcoin OS or like a Bitcoin virtual machine can help the end user experience better.
Yeah. So first, I think starting last year with the VM idea coming out, that brought people attention about Bitcoin Layer 2. Because if all these transactions can be verified on Bitcoin Layer 1, why do people need other chains, right? Why do people need other Ethereum Layer 2s? Because Bitcoin is already the most secure chain ever. So I think that is why people are still building around this, because that is like the holy grail of all builders in crypto. Second thing will be, we look through all these materials, all these codes in the past 6 months, and we are very firm that BVM can be done because they're what, on every angle it can be done. It just needs more time, EVM, ZK rollups like needed in the past 3 to 5 years, but it can be done. And finally, answering your questions, I think that opens a way that people can be fully trusting all these DeFi, BTC-Fi, Layer 2s, Layer 3s protocols. Because, right now, people are still having doubts. People are still stuck with, Layer 1 transactions. Some people are still stuck with Layer 1 transactions because, this hasn't been solved. I mean, starting February, Merlin has been, getting like millions of users bridging Bitcoin there. Billions of Bitcoin has been bridging bridge outs, but that is still not trustless. I don't want to, I don't want people to have trust and then to do the actions. That would be a lot of burden on the builders. Like today, I am still worried about all these Bitcoin projects. If they got hacked, if they have some problems, that that will crash everybody's confidence, not only their projects but also Merlin and also all these Bitcoin builders. So I think that will definitely bring a new narrative, make people trust doing this trustlessly, and I think that will be beneficial for everyone. So precisely, I don't think it will change the user experience in my point of view at first, but you will definitely get more users try to use all these Bitcoin Layer 2s and BTC-Fi and BTC DApps, which means it will encourage more builders to come here to build, which will lead to more better DApps, better user experience, and the mass adoption.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, it'd be just kind of peace of mind, I guess, for some of those people that dig deeply into it. But I agree with you. I think that, that's really where the benefit lies there. But David, I don't want to hold you too much longer. I know it's super late over there for you. So
Sure.
any final words about Bitcoin OS and maybe something that the audience can get excited about?
No, I think there's a lot of cool things coming where I want to give a shout out to, we're planning out our Cryptopedia campaign now. With our partners, Merlin Chain, a few other guys planning that up. We are also gonna make more partnership announcements come January after the Christmas period. Hoping everyone gets some rest, but hopefully we'll have some. Keep your eyes open for some more tech releases in Q1. We're really pushing hard to get a lot of stuff out. A new way of what we call next gen ZK verification. Might be a white paper on that, as well as a white paper on the programmable token in Q1. And of course, hopefully the boss token in March.
Awesome. Well,
Thanks,
we
guys.
appreciate you. Yeah, we appreciate you joining us, and we will talk soon, David.
Talk soon, guys. Have a good one. Bye.
All right.
See you, man.
Happy holidays. All right. Next up, we got Fonzie. Fonzie, what is up? You got some big news, right? Coming. I don't know.
Yo,
if he's there.
GM.
There
There
he
you go.
is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. It was amazing. And great for him. I'm hearing from him too. I think what he's doing is pretty cool. Definitely excited to check that one out there. So, definitely right in time for the holiday seasons and whatnot. But yeah, no. A couple of things from our end. So, of course, on L1 itself, we launched our sort of rewards program. It's more of like referral program, so there'll be more things added to the dashboard, and that's something that we'll have ongoing, throughout the process, throughout kind of like our existence, and kind of adding different kind of missions, different ways that people can engage with the platform, and sort of gain points. And then of course, that will lead up to kind of a couple updates that we have this weekend. Some exciting things as well, which is sort of kind of the rewards. We thought about it in a way that sort of gamifies the entire approach. So based off your trading activity during the duration you've been on Bitcoin for Ordinals, there'll be loot boxes waiting for you as well. So that's going to be a huge update that we will kind of announce, this week itself. And with that announcement, of course, we'll announce what kind of the future leads, kind of the next phase for us, and kind of Ordinal hype. But yeah, overall, like, it's been quite exciting, and I think this week we definitely will see a kind of a very, very robust platform. People are loving it, like the L1 at least part of it, the aggregator. Kind of like in the entire UI, the entire experience there, which is always good. And so yeah, super excited to kind of build on that itself.
Yep. And maybe we can get you on Thursday for a live stream during our live stream to kind of show the audience and the community, what the platform's like and all that stuff. But let's kind of get back to the topic, right? So making Bitcoin fun again through UX. So you guys have been building for both layer 1 and layer 2. So the I guess like the strains and limitations of layer 1 and what that UX brings. Like, how important do you think it is for people to trade these assets for the user experience to be, really good?
I think it's very, very important. I think even looking from like Bruins is a great example of this, right? Like you're not supposed to trade tokens, so we're supposed to, like, you're trading Bruins currently, right? I think the entire kind of I understand why it's been like created the way it was, but I think the entire just like infra, it's complete goes against like the way you trade tokens anywhere else. So like L2 needs to kind of like help in that regard, right? Facilitate this kind of like, AMMs. I know there's projects where AMMs on Bitcoin itself, but you're still dealing with 10-minute block times, right? That's not going to change. And the other factors that currently make like the existence of trading it like kind of really, really bad. Really bad headache, right? And an example is like blocks, right? People like would ape and put like $250 worth of a block of like a rune, just like Flora, right, for a specific price point. It's like who's going to buy that up, right? And then there's different strategies trading strategies I've seen kind of like as a result of that as well. But at the end, like L2s do have like its purpose. Its purpose, of course, is again like kind of building upon Bitcoin, helping it a lot, kind of execute a lot faster. Bringing a very similar trading environment to what you see on Solana and Ethereum. And I think overall it's a net positive for the eco, right? I think you'll have projects that kind of go ahead and build that momentum there. And I think it's sort of like discussion we've had over the past months this year is like onboarding process and how do we like improve the UI UX experience and all this other stuff. And that's how you do it, right? Like that's one of the manners you can potentially do it, right? And so I think yeah, it's definitely needed. Like I think you still have the headaches that exist on L1, and whether they improve, it's a good thing. Or but the thing is, like, some stuff fundamentally won't change, and that's not necessarily a bug, more like a feature on Bitcoin that won't be changed, right? And so that's where you have the facilitation of L2s and whatnot.
So I agree with you 100%. Like there's some stuff that won't change, and it's a feature, right? Like the security, and that's why people like it. And actually, for this question is actually going to be more towards Jeff, in my opinion, because Jeff, you guys with Merlin Chain was bringing that UX, right? It was like, okay, this is better. This is what people are used to, but it still wasn't like, and it's not just Merlin Chain. It's like Stacks. It's like Fractal. There's still like this like mass adoption yet. And so you guys are like going back to the drawing board, figuring out, okay, how can we get that going? And BTC.fun is something that isn't kind of like this attempt also with the Telegram dApps. Is that why you guys kind of went back to the drawing board and came up with these? Obviously you guys didn't do BTC.fun, but the team did. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think that is the one sad truth about Web3. Because I was from Web2. In Web2, it was like you had idea, you knew that can be very popular in the future, and you bring the people who believe you, work with you to do this step by step. Like I work in Web2, first company in the first 3 years, we didn't achieve PMF, but nobody was panicked, because we knew that was the future. We can do this step by step. We have number growth. We have new income every day. So we're not panic. But in Web3, it's based on cycle. 2020 to 2023, we had a bull run, and bull run and bear market, of course, but like it's just like it's cycle. And in that cycle, people are FOMO about, first DeFi summer was there, 2020, and then 2021 NFT was there, GameFi Metaverse was there. So everyone was building around these narratives. I mean, I'm glad, that time we had, several narratives, but this time it seems like we have very few. But yeah, that time everyone was building, around NFTs, Metaverse, DeFi protocol, forking Uniswap, forking Compound Aave. So yeah, but this time still, like if you want to achieve some kind of massive adoption, you basically need to focus on 1 to 2 things. Like this time, like to be honest, if you're trying to build a GameFi, that would be a huge failure. Even though you are a great team, like I knew some teams, the founding team of Steppen last cycle, they built Steppen was so successful, right? Everybody was using that. The price is crazy. But the same team, they did a new game last year, and I bet all of you guys never heard of it, right?
What's it called?
Yeah, I don't even want to say the name.
What was the original? What was the original game called?
Steppen. It was a Solana shoe game.
Oh,
where you
yeah.
buy shoes and
I
you walk
remember
around
that.
your neighborhood and you earn
That was
Solana.
the most successful GameFi last cycle. The value.
I played it.
More than Axie Infinity?
Different
kind,
user,
right?
The user is way more than Axie Infinity. Axie Infinity was
Oh, wow.
like a small group of users, but Steppen was like everyone, and it was crazy. And everyone
I was
made
running around my neighborhood. I was
Were you-
running
What
the
about the
streets, dude.
Hive? What about the Hive where you drove around? That was
I did that too.
something
That was the honey token. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
That
so I
was
did
honey,
that
yeah.
too.
But like this time, the same team built a game. Nobody heard of it. The floor price is like $20 on OpenSea. So like it was like very different. So it's not like people are trying to make better products, but more like people are trying to catch the right narrative. So I think right now, when most people are into, I would say, memes, AI memes, science memes, so you have to do something like like memes, like platform, because that's
Yeah.
what everybody cares. And if you do that, you just have to make sure that is still like unique, different, not like a copycat. You see all kinds of copycats every day. Not like a copycat has some unique mechanism, some unique narratives, but that's just something you have to do. If we put all of our resources into building a metaverse on Bitcoin, I'm not saying it's not going to be successful, but it's going to be very, very hard. Yeah. So that is my point. About why we're doing this, because people are paying attention to this, and you just make sure among all these competitors, you are top of most of them, and you can achieve some attention. So like before, nobody cares about BTC memes, but after BTC are fun, we hope more users from other ecosystems realize, oh, there's BTC memes, and what is the unique narrative behind the BTC memes. It's secured by layer 1, the D app. Like what we did with the recursive arts. I think recursive art was a great idea. If somebody builds a token around recursive arts, that would be a new narrative, because other users from Solana or BNB chain, they never heard of putting real art on chain, right? So if we do the BTC fund, some people saw this, build a project around recursive arts, and they got successful. I think that will be a huge success to the whole Bitcoin ecosystems. That is what I see, the massive adoption, like why this matters and what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, that's a really great idea. I didn't think about that. Like having some recursive art as like your meme token, or like having something inside of it that does something. I mean, that's definitely possible. So
yeah, that's why we always focus on Bitcoin native narratives. We don't want to do something like similar to Base or other chains. We want to focus on that. Like I said before, you don't know how much pressure the BTC fund is getting, because they don't allow you to launch ERC20 tokens. So guys, if we don't have enough Ruins ERC20 launched on BTC fund, I guess they will open the gate for ERC20 tokens, to be honest, because it's a pain in the ass. Try launch Ruins on BTC fund. You have to wait for 6 blocks to get a confirmation, and then 2-3 more blocks to to bridge to Merlin, and then launch. And after like 10 blocks, people are like asleep. People forgot about it.
That's true. That is true. But and also like that initial party launch, the experience is gonna be different because when people are like competitive and they're trying to launch successful tokens, there are gonna be so many tokens that are launching. So you really gotta do your research at some point, right? So it's gonna be really exciting. But yeah, I'm super excited for it. Jeff, I know it's super late at where you are, 1:45 a.m. So I don't want to keep you any longer. But any final words for the audience? I guess maybe to look forward to Merlin Chain for this next year.
Yeah, I think this year has been like a lot of fun. Are we going to have Merlin Monday next week? It's like New Year's Eve, right?
Oh, it is.
No,
yes. Yeah, go ahead.
We'll definitely do it Monday. For us, New Year's Eve is Tuesday.
Oh,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So if you need to, do you need to skip that one?
Oh no,
it's gonna be New Year's.
yeah.
Okay.
New Year's Eve is Tuesday. It's not Monday for me, so it's good.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, we didn't expect all of this. If last year at the same time we were having a show, probably none of you guys would expect what happened this year with Merlin and stuff. So it has been a great year, exciting years, challenges we haven't faced before. Like right now, $23 billion bridge out, zero security issues. All these hackers. You cannot imagine how many attacks we got. Even today, people actually hacked into my friend's account to talk to me, try to hack me because
oh my god.
Yeah, like they're not doing random hacks; they're doing targeted hacks.
Wow.
So they hacked my friend's account and then talk to me and try to hack my computer. But yeah, whatever. So we have been through lots of great stuff. Had a lot of fun. I think next year, like this year, I think Ordinals and Ruins definitely did not meet our expectation from last year. Right? Last year we thought this year will be huge. I mean, this year is great, but it's not huge for Ordinals and Ruins, and BRC20s, and all these Bitcoin assets. So I think next year, if we are still staying in these ecosystems, if we are still around, yeah, we should get more innovations. We should be united. We should do something different. Like all these crap projects, they're dead. So like very, very few survivors here. So like for all these survivors, no matter you are retail user, traders, or you are a builder, or you are a designer, or you are an influencer, if you are here, we are survivors, right? So all of us survivors should do something together, should try everything new, should do something great for people who look down on Bitcoin ecosystems, who didn't care about Ordinals and Ruins. We need to prove them wrong. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, Jeff, we'll let you go ahead and go to sleep out there. It's 2 a.m. So we will see you next Monday for the last Merlin Monday of the year. We got to do something special for it. We got to do some sort of giveaway, Shizzy, you and I.
Think about anything and talk to me on Telegram.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you later.
Thanks, Jeff.
We
got the man, the myth, the legend. We got Fonzie. What's up, Fonzie?
Fonzie. All right.
Yo, what's up, guys? Back.
Yeah, yes. So we really wanted. I love the sweatshirt. I have that, but I got it from you in Nashville. But for some reason I grabbed extra medium size. Extra medium. It's a little tight. It's tight on my chest. No, but I need a bigger one.
Just for people who know in the audience, I've seen Yagobi IRL. He's buff. So when he says he's tight on the chest, this guy has muscles.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I was gonna actually be like, yeah, okay. I need to probably hit the gym a little bit more, but okay. I like that you noticed that. But what's going on? First of all, this is the Fonzie segment of the Merlin Mondays. What's going on with Bitcoin? Shizzy thinks that we're still gonna have the Santa rally. He said today. I was kind of like, what is it? I was like, what's your definition of a Santa rally? Because
up on Christmas
we're in a
Eve.
Grinch rally right now. But what do you think, Fonzie?
I think Shizzy knows the Santa rally. I was praying for this to happen, for like the price dip and everything else to dip so I can get in at this price range. So this is really good. Like this is Christmas came early, right, for me and everyone else who like understands the markets. I'm not surprised. Like one last tip. I think market exhaustion is a real thing. People are probably getting tired. They're like, oh man, it's been like this long for X amount of time, right? And right when they give up, that's when the burn up happens. So having the price at what is it, 93K right now? It's not something that I think is, quite frankly, you shouldn't be shocked about. I think you should be happy if you, especially if you have liquid and you have like, kind of money on the side, because again, NFA, right? But like, basically, it's a good time to get in on a pretty solid price, right? That's not going to be here for some time, at least I predict. So I think Santa just like is on break, is Christmas, and I think after all this stuff, after all this stuff happens and holidays, you'll start seeing much more market kind of upticking and going to new highs, which is nothing quite shocking actually. But yeah, I think if you're looking at the market right now, it's a good price. It's a really good entry point.
Yeah, it definitely is. What were you gonna say, Shizzy?
No, I was like the same thing you. I definitely agree. I think that the markets are at a really good point right now, so where I feel like everything's really healthy heading into next year, and that pretty much that anything you buy now, and like Fonzie says, NFA, but you could really probably benefit from that, a lot. So.
Yeah, I just saw a comment say, I don't think Fonzie's bullish enough. I think I disagree with you. I think I'm very bullish. I think my price target was $500,000, so we haven't reached that yet. So I think at this point, I'm skipping holiday shopping and instead just buying as much Bitcoin as I can with that. So that's
yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. I was like, everybody's probably looking for liquidity or capital to get these cheap prices, but don't skimp on your kids' Christmas presents or your family's Christmas presents. But maybe Fonzie's family ain't getting no Christmas presents this year. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding.
So there's always next year, guys. I'm sorry.
Love it. Okay, so what's the bigger opportunity though? Like ordinals or runes for you right now?
So I think right now, actually, it's a very, very hot take. I think the big opportunity right now is BRC20s. I think they're like the forgotten child. Yeah, they're the forgotten child. And to be frank with you, like the experience between BRC20 and runes is not too different. It's about the same, right? In fact, I think BRC20 is a lot better just because of the block time difference, right?
I mean, if you rewind like 8 months, my guy Shizzy over here was saying it's way better experience, no transfer inscription, way better experience, but it is pretty close to the same experience though.
No, the transfer inscription changes everything. A transfer inscription is garbage. I think that's the one problem, and it needs to be solved. And I think it can get solved. It needs to be done. You cannot have a successful protocol with transfer inscriptions. It's never going to work.
I mean, like BRC20 was extremely successful at one point
for us, but it's really successful on exchanges where there's no transfer inscription. But on chain.
But runes wasn't that much of an upgrade, I don't think, and it's not necessarily the fault of runes. I think it's more of the limitations of Bitcoin. Like until you can get to like an AMM or something like that, like you're not going to have that big enough gap to separate the two. And I think maybe that's what you were getting at, Fonzie. I don't know. Maybe you can
I think the centralized exchange just became the AMM, especially with BRC20s. When you look at Ordi and Sats. And one thing to know as well, like even for me, like for my case, like the last thing I minted was a BRC20 recently. So
which one?
It was fart. It was fart. There's like a fart. It's an OJ coin. It was in March of like last year. I was like, okay, you know what? This is kind of funny. Fart coin's doing very well, so I'm just gonna get the BRC20 replica of it. So I think with that said, like sure, like there hasn't been. There's someone in the audience put that. There hasn't been like kind of like much development happening on BRC20s as a result of runes, but like the centralized exchanges are an avenue where you can like have that sort of like BRC20s have been listed, not a single rune has, right? And I think that's something
Well, no, RuneCoin has, but I think it actually hurt them more than it helped them because they got on OKX. But I agree though. So I always kind of bring this comparative to Doge when Doge took off, because the only exposure Doge had to the public was through a centralized exchange, and that's that marketing push from like you can really get Doge any other way, maybe like non-KYC or something like that back then. So the centralized exchanges definitely can make a ton of money for themselves if they pick up dog, pups, or BDC, but they're gonna have to market that, and that's where the masses I think can come into these runes. But I don't know.
Well, and Merlin, right? So Merlin's doing his thing, PTC.fun, where you're going to be able to mint a BRC20 but trade it over on Merlin, right? You're gonna get the BRC20, you're gonna mint the whole supply to yourself, put it in bridges to BTC.fund, and then have the mint over there. You won't have to do anything. But in the back, obviously it's 1-to-1 with the BRC20. So I think that's how BRC20s can have success, just not on layer 1. So
Yeah.
Maybe whenever like Arch is live or something like that, it'll be better. I don't know how they're going to get around the transfer inscription, but one thing I think the biggest thing with BTC.fund, I don't know, Fonzie, what you think, but like we kind of heard about what the incentive is going to be. So for example, Fonzie goes and launches Fonzie. Is that 5 letters? It is. Fonzie BRC20 on BTC.fund on Merlin. It gets minted out and it goes to Merlin Swap with a $2 million market or $2 million liquidity pool or whatever. I don't know. That's probably too high, but let's say like $100,000 liquidity pool. Because you launched it with your address, you'll get an airdrop of stable token of a percentage of that value.
I think that's pretty. I mean, honestly, that's like amazing. I think that's a yeah.
How's that?
Yeah.
They're gonna run out of money, I think, or there's gonna be a small percentage of successful tokens. One of the two.
I think you'll have the latter, right? I think you'll have a small percentage of successful tokens that do very well. And it's been the case too. Like I think even Pump.fund has like those metrics, like the people who like the successful amount of tokens that do go out and reach like a really good kind of trading volume, secondary, all this stuff. It's quite few. It's not a lot of them. You have a lot of like tokens that are launched, which is one thing, but the amount of successful tokens are quite minimal, and I think you can sort of do something around that. I mean, I'm curious to see like where that liquidity comes from, and I do have questions on that too, Yagobi. But I'm sure like there is specific things you can do to incentivize users to trade that. Like what if they do it in a way that kind of gets them a transaction fee or like kind of adds to that pool there. There's different things different ways to go about this, and it can even like sustain itself, right? If you do take into account the fees that you get from trading for that specific pool, then I think that in itself it's pretty good incentive, right? So I think it's a good thing. It definitely incentivizes people like who love kind of creating meme coins to continue doing that, and not just that, but like making sure they succeed, right? Because they have like something attached to that, which is the fact that they'll get rewarded if it does. So I think you'll have more people launching, at least some quality coins or meme coins, and kind of having a narrative around that. So I'm excited to see that. Definitely excited to see that there.
Yep. I'm excited too. Maybe we do like us 3 live launching a bunch of fart and burp and coins, and Shizzy's locking himself in a dog crate. Because there's gonna be a lot of shows actually.
What we do is like,
bro.
That was one of the guys did that.
I know, but I said cereal. I'm okay with pouring cereal, man. I'm not getting that.
I'm just messing around. I'm like, you don't have to be committed to it. I'm joking.
You guys will break all kinds of records.
I'll do it. No.
I feel like you guys will break all kinds of records with that. Definitely should consider it.
Yeah, man. It's kind of getting to Ordinal Hive a little bit. We do know that you're trying to drop in this really soon. The mainnet and stuff like this. I had a few people hit me up say, "Yo, I need a referral code, bro."
Yeah.
I mean, this is just beta.ordinal hive.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah. So people hit me up saying, "Yo, Shizzy, I need a referral code, bro," and I'm like, "Go to their Discord."
Yeah. So if you go to our most recent tweet when we announced this itself, there is a referral code there that you can actually kind of use, and then that code there like gives you access to your dashboard to everything you see in Ordinal Hive, and then you have your own referral code as well. You have your own referral code that you can share with other people. So click on that specific link, and then they get the code and so forth. I'm not sure if you want to demo that to them, maybe so they can see it. But
I'm grabbing the thing there from Ordinal Hive.
Yeah, and there's also missions you can do there too. We'll add more missions to it, but this week prepare, like we definitely have like kind of we did analysis based on your trading activity over the last kind of year, almost 2 years in on Bitcoin. So based on the activity there, you have some loot boxes that you'll be able to open up when we do launch this platform officially. So prepare for that, gear for that there, and it will be all part of the dashboard section, which you'll see kind of like You basically see like, kind of like all your rewards, kind of how many points you have, leaderboard, all that cool stuff there. And of course, like, the platform itself is one of the biggest things that we do intend to continue like optimizing and making better, improving over the course of time. So we do have a big update coming with that there, including some mempool, nice, like some cool mempool stuff, which is quite exciting, and kind of facilitate that there for the traders themselves. But yeah, if you go to a dashboard section, Shizzy, and then if you go down to, right there, so you have a referral link, you can copy the referral link on top. It's there too as well, so you can just copy that.
Oh, okay. Where was that? I'm sorry, I missed it.
So where it says,
right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We might need to make it more visible. Yeah, and then just like copy that. You can put a URL, you get a code and stuff, and people will get points off from you. So,
Awesome.
yeah, it's a very cool stuff. Yeah, I see people here applying referral codes. Oh yeah, that's it. There we go.
So I just got to do these missions here.
There's different missions. So if you do all 4 missions, you get a points boost. So for like referrals, so basically just connect your kind of Twitter, just follow our account, join our Discord, follow like I believe is a couple of accounts there. Then you'll get points for that. So like if you start that process, you can click on start. Yep, and then it directs you to that specific place. So you're following us already. So you can go. I think if you go back, it should update.
Verify,
yeah. And then once you verify,
awesome.
Yeah, and then if you complete all, there you go. If you complete all 4 quests, you get a points boost. So you'll get a points boost and stuff on your like on your account. So there you go.
Gotcha. And then just keep going back and then verify.
Yep.
Awesome. Easy, super easy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
And these points, they're valuable points, right?
Very valuable points. Yeah, there'll be an airdrop. Like I think that's alpha already.
Hey,
definitely.
I like it. He came out with it.
Yeah. We won't say too much. I'm gonna say one word. Hopefully, like no one catches that. But anyways, so yeah, just like these points will be valuable. So prepare for that. Stay tuned for that and stuff. And I think for us, we definitely want to reward our loyal users. This past year, right? Individuals who've been with us since the very beginning, as well as our current, like our future users and so forth. So a lot of it's gonna be geared towards that. So you don't need to be whitelisted alone. No. So there's a question here by WebDro. So we still need to be whitelisted using the referral code link. So once you have the referral code link, you can access the platform. If you're having issues, please ping me, just tag me. But you should be able to access the platform once you have the referral link. You just gotta type the referral link on the URL, or just click on it, and then it'll direct you to the platform, connect your wallet, and you should be good to go. So yeah.
I officially completed all the tasks. I am now I'm now legend status, correct?
that's correct. Yes. Yes. So you are a legendary status, and it'll reflect there kindly. So you'll have to reflect on that as well.
So will he get new tasks tomorrow, or is he done?
So there will be new. So we'll have new tasks, like when we like the onboarding session as well. Like one of the new missions will be to like list an item, and if you list an item, then you'll also receive an additional loot box. So like there'll be a reward section that will add. There's 4 current tabs, but there'll be a new one on this dashboard, rewards. So you'll see like the tasks there, like the couple of items that you'll need to complete. But there'll be more like stuff refreshes throughout the course of time. So definitely keep checking it out. And as I have the points boost, so I think you're pretty much good to go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Love it,
and
man.
I see my points here for the referrals. Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm happy that the platform is right there for the public to use, right around the corner. And a couple of things before we end the show. I think that highlighting the advantages of utilizing Ordinal Hive is important. So the first thing is it works as an aggregator. So you're going to be able to find the cheapest ordinals on Bitcoin and eventually Merlin as well that you can find, because they source from all platforms. So if you filter it to cheapest to highest, then you're going to be able to find the cheapest around. And then the tool set, which I think is the biggest for people that are. There's a lot of people in our space that are good at flipping for 2 to 5x, and that's all they care about. They don't really care about maybe up to 10x, right? And they're religiously, they have the discipline to do that. And I think something like this with the analytics and being able to see like what's hot before it takes off and stuff like that. Did I miss anything else that gives people an edge utilizing Ordinal Hive?
Yeah, the irrigation is very important. Also, mind the irrigation and mempool, which is also what we have too, and that's going to be the update that we're releasing this week. So you'll see a complete kind of the UI will change quite a bit, just slightly, just to accommodate the new kind of UI we do expect in the mempool. But a lot of that is to facilitate and see what's in the mempool. So you'll see like kind of the assets collections that are being bought up, all that cool stuff, and then of course you'll have like runes, and then intention of adding more asset classes on Bitcoin. So that kind of gives you an edge, right? Gives you an edge over like other users or the platforms who have the aggregation on both sides, and the mempool itself and outside with marketplaces. As you said, like you want to buy the cheapest prices. I know when we entered this call, like she was like, "Yo, what's going on with the price?" Santa definitely came early, right? This is one of the reasons. I think you'll see because everything's on a discount. You see prices like dipping like 20-30%. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's on a discount. Just imagine that, like you go to a store, Macy's, or like you go to like a really good store, Target, and then like you go there, it says 50% off. That's what's happening right now.
But then you look in your wallet and you have $1. So then you're like, oh, I want to buy this so bad, but I only got $1. You start selling your kids Christmas presents. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry, guys, but I can't buy Christmas this year. It's been postponed
Listen,
to next year.
my Node Num Monkey dropped in value. I can't sell it right now, but I promise in February I got everybody. No, I'm just kidding.
That's right. That's right. I believe Christmas has been postponed to February or March. But yeah, no, I think overall it should be pretty bullish and optimistic. And one thing to note and sign up more of the economy like as a whole. You want to look at right now some of the countries to take a look at least one of them is Argentina. I think what has happened in Argentina, at least the way they dropped inflation, the way they decrease government employees and sort of spending all this stuff has had a really impactful effect in that economy, right? And so the reason why I say that is because that's the same kind of intentions and goal that this new administration looks on having. So that's going to be a net positive in general, right? For like the ecosystem, for like any other industries across the board. And that's more of like a macro as a whole. So yeah, other than that, like I think it's quite exciting to come in 2025 with a bang. 2024 has been an amazing year for all of us, and amazing time in Bitcoin as well. And truly grateful for like everything that's happened, especially Ordinal Hype, users, people I met along the way as well. So 2025 is gonna be even more epic, and I think we can't be bullish enough, right, for that.
There you go. And great point about Melee and Argentina. He went after the central banks and stuff like that, and really cleaned up that. He used a little bit, I think, of the Bukele blueprint, and then you're right. That's what the mindset of this new administration has. Let's see if we can do that, because they're trying to block it every chance they get, but we'll see. But yep, we're gonna end the Merlin Monday segment. Any final words? I guess you did kind of end it epically just now. I don't know what else you could say.
I'll say one thing. One thing that all have in common is they all love Bitcoin for a reason.
There you go.
Yeah. Let's go. Perfect.
All right, brother. Well, we will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for spending time with us and the Bitcoin community.
Appreciate it, guys. Merry Christmas, guys. See you guys.
See you, buddy.
All right. Happy holidays. Peace.
Well, that was awesome. Amazing updates from Jeff. I think the Timon stuff, guys. If you're not playing with that, you need to start playing with it. It's easy. It's on Telegram, and lots of other stuff. We did see some questions in here. I did have some banners, but I guess we could just postpone them for tomorrow. I did want to bring up the Fluid Staking Pass, though, because I know a lot of people did have some issues with this, and I kind of just wanted to run through it. Yasher, I still think your problem is you don't have enough Bitcoin gas in there. I mean, that was the only thing that, because I think you might be one of the few people that are having an issue, but I will reach out to Raul and kind of see if maybe there's another thing. But I just want to show this real quick. So if you go to fluidtokens.com, click the Bitcoin app. I should have showed that, but sorry. And then hit staking. You'll see this new vault. If you do have a pass, there's 143 vaults. So guys, I was doing the math on this earlier today. If you have a pass, as of right now, you're going to be earning at the price of Fluid is right now. And we think its Fluid price is going to get a lot higher, maybe 10x higher than it is. But as of right now, you're getting about $350 per pass. That's on average. Depending on if you have a black one or you'll get a little less if you have an orange one, but if you have the black one, you're gonna get a little more. So if you have a black one, you're getting the $400 per ordinal right there, and that's at at these prices. So if Fluid price let's just say be conservative and 4x's from here, I mean, that's like $1,000 per pass, and you get your pass back. It's not like you're selling it. So if you make sure you guys are if you have a pass, you know, it is $30. So if you do go to stake, let's say you stake one. I think I have one more in here that I didn't. Yep, right here. You click it, and then I have a tier 2, and then you come down here, and then you hit stake, and you just want to stake that in there. I'll actually bring it up. Because I want to save this one. I'm going to do a full tutorial on this, but I'll show you guys what it looks like. So it is a little costly. So that's the one issue that I see people saying. So right now it's going to cost you around 18, 20, so 21, $22. So it'll cost me and network fee. Okay, so it's going to cost me around $28, $29 to stake this. But I still think it's worth it because at the end, you know, you're getting the FLDT rune, which is 1-to-1 with the FLDT token, and it's like at what, $8 million market cap right now?
Yeah, it might have dropped a little bit because everything pulled back, but it's around between 6 and 8. I actually have it right here. Let me see.
I would be shocked, guys, if you didn't at least get your money back here, right? So that's just, I mean, I'd be completely shocked if that's all you got too. So
yeah,
but non-financial advice, you got to make a big boy decision. But there's really no reason to hold the pass if you're not going to stake it, honestly. So
I agree. But yeah, so what a show.
Yeah, man.
633 people tuning in on this kind of bloody Monday, but it looks like it's rebounding a little bit. But who cares, right? We know where it's heading, and that's all that matters.
Some questions.
We had some questions?
Yeah, so we had this one. Hey, maybe for the end of the show, a little off topic. What is the most secure way at this time to store ordinals, all things Taproot, etc.? I have a certain way, but do you have something that you do to store your valuable assets?
I like the higher price items. Yeah, I definitely send them to a wallet I don't go in and out of. But it is a hot wallet because there's one cold storage. So first of all, you can technically store. Don't do the. I wouldn't do this. Let's say that. So you can technically store them in ledgers, but like you got to figure out the sats and all that stuff. So it could be you could lose them basically, right? So Ryder, I think, is trying to remember they were working on a cold storage solution for ordinals. I just don't know if that product ended up if they were able to include that feature. They were working on it. So as of right now, it's just that's only.
Well, no, there's Keystone. Keystone. Yeah, they operate with Unisat wallet. I have one right here.
Okay, nice.
Really nice wallet that I've only used like once or twice. I didn't really have anything to lock in there. So there's two ways you can, if you go to Unisat and then you can create with a Keystone. So you go to Keystone's website, you can find them on Twitter and then just go to their website. But they'll send you out one of these. I got it in like 7 days. It's really nice. This is not promotional whatsoever, but Keystone is one way you can do that. And there's another thing that I do that you don't need a hardware wallet for. What I do is I create a Unisat wallet or an Express wallet. I write down the words 3 different times. So you get 3 different pieces of paper, write it down once, write it down another time, write it down. Do not copy each paper. Get the words right from it because sometimes you'll make a mistake on one that you won't make the same mistake. So you'll be like, oh, well, you go find another paper, like, oh, that was my mistake. So 3 different papers, and then put the papers 3 different places, right? And then the next thing you do is just send that asset to that wallet and then delete the wallet. So you basically just want to come up here, go to your app here, and then go down to the wallet that you just sent to. Let's just say Unisat, and come here and then remove from Chrome. So just remove it from Chrome. Go on. You can't access that wallet unless you need to put the words in. And let's just say that Node Monkey or whatever you put it in there, 10x's, and you're ready to sell it. You just, you go to the Unisat wallet, you start a new one, you put those words in, and you sell that asset. Pretty simple. If someone hacks your computer, they can't get into it. There's nothing there. There's nothing to go into and click. So delete the wallet from your computer. All you have is the paper, and then you're good to go. That's another way you can do it. I hope that helped, Augustine.
Yep. And then West Bottoms Market says, so we will be able to send self-issuance BRC20s to Merlin and launch them like a pump fund model. Is this correct? Yeah, it is. But we don't know what that step-by-step is going to look like until it goes live. But we'll do a tutorial on it. But that, from what the builders told us, that will be an option. I don't think many people are going to use that, but hey, if you did do a self-issuance Rune or BRC20, that should be an option still.
Yeah.
All right. What else do we have here? All right. Yep, I think that's it, man, for the questions here. So we appreciate you guys participating in the Q&A there. But if you do have a little extra time and wouldn't mind, it would help us out a ton. If you checked out our partners, Emblem Vault is the interoperability tool for Bitcoin Layer 1 assets. You're going to be able to jump your puppets, node monks, frogs, whatever ordinals you want from Bitcoin Layer 1 to Bitcoin Layer 2s or other EVM chains like Base, Merlin, Solana is on the roadmap. And so it's going to make things a lot more easy for you guys to be able to really move those over. They're also finishing up there. I think there was a question about the Bitcoin AI wallet earlier in the chat, and they are the team that's working on it. So their lead dev, Shannon's a beast. He's super talented, and he should be finishing up the BTC agent AI wallet by the end of this year, maybe early next year is what they said, probably the latest for that. So you can learn more about Emblem at emblem.vision. They do have their rune that is going to be a TGE for next September or October, but you can get access to it now because the way that they do it is really cool. They actually lock the emblem keys as the rune in a emblem vault, and so they're actually on secondary markets right now. So we'll go over that once we get Jake on, I think Thursday. So we're gonna have Jake Gallen from Emblem Vault on Thursday. So you can learn more about them at emblem.vision. And then BetBTC is the predictions market of the Bitcoin ecosystem. They utilize ICP and Bitcoin technology for you guys to be able to place bets on their markets with your Bitcoin. You can utilize the X1st wallet if you have Bitcoin in there and send it over to their platform. It takes 6 blocks, but after that, you can start placing your bets. These guys are going to stand apart with their create your own markets, which is going to give people like you and us an opportunity to really create awesome, engaging markets that have both sides of people wanting to bet their side. You as the market creators can be able to earn, I believe, up to 1.5% on the total volume. Guys, crypto's changing, and this is how I know in terms of more, I think, stable type of business model approaches instead of like House of Cards, right? So this is something that's going to be an opportunity if you have a social following or if you want to build a social following. And then they'll have the bet with friends to where you can create, a private bet between 4 friends or however many friends you want. But check these guys out at betbtc.win and learn more about them. They're also doing a farm. You can farm points for their Rune airdrop as well, which should be in 2025 for the TGE of that. All right, BitPerp is the perps and leverage DEX of the Bitcoin ecosystem. You're gonna be able to trade runes and other Bitcoin Layer 1 assets, possibly BRC20s on their protocol. It's going to be synthetic versions of them, but you'll be able to trade them. They should be having the paper trading competition. I just got a message about 10 minutes ago from their team. It is coming up, and I showed you the new UI earlier today. So super excited for these guys. Hardworking team, grinding. They're going to be on multiple Bitcoin Layer 2s. Learn more about them at bitperp.io. And then Fluid Tokens. You guys take your Fluid passes, guys. If you go to fluidtokens.com, click on the Bitcoin side. If you have a pass, go stake it. These guys are the first to introduce retail staking vaults for the Bitcoin community on Bitcoin Layer 1. If you're an Ordinals founder or you deployed a fungible token, BRC20 or Rune, reach out to Raul, which is the CTO of Fluid Tokens, and he will get your team set up with a staking vault for your holders. They're also building a bridge from Cardano to Bitcoin. These guys are just constantly innovating. They're going to be building Arch too. Super bullish on these guys. You can learn more at fluidtokens.com and click the Bitcoin side. And of course, Merlin Chain, the #1 scaling solution for Bitcoin native L1 assets and protocols. If you're a builder on Bitcoin Layer 1 and you want your protocol to be more scalable, more flexible, reach out to Merlin Chain's team. They have builder grants. All you got to do is apply. A couple of our partners did and got approved. It's not impossible. You can definitely get approved for it, but you got to apply and be serious. They have great builder support as well from their CTO. and his team. Also, if you're a retail user, BTC.fund's right around the corner. So, keep watching our show. We'll kind of guide you guys through on what that experience is going to be like. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, we have our integrated partners, Foxy, building the metaverse on Bitcoin called the Bitverse. They have their bit miners you can mint on mScribe to earn by mining. And then they also have the Clan Wars, the first-person shooter game. And then Ordinal Hive. You just saw our guy Fonzie break it down for you. The mainnet's coming right around the corner. Get used to it because it has great tooling and analytics tools for you guys to be able to get ahead of everyone else. And we thank you so much for checking out our partners.
Yep. Great job, man, as always. But guys, if you have one more minute, you can check out ordinalrevolution.com. We have some of the best articles dating all the way back to last year. If you know someone entering the space, send them our website. We really feel like it can help them get started and get caught up to where we are today. If you guys are looking for a VPN, we have the best VPN. We have NordVPN. Just click the link here. That'll take you to their site. It gives you a 70% off coupon for using our link. Definitely do that. You should always have a VPN. If it's not Nord, get another one. But Nord has the best offer, especially through us. And guys, you don't want to be going to websites and stuff without a VPN. Like, believe me. And with a VPN, you can use things like Mexi. You can use things like that you're not allowed to use because of your geolocation. And F that. That's bullshit, right? Don't. And that's not your government doing that. That is the site itself. Don't let them put you in a box. I don't like being in boxes. I like getting out of a box. But guys, check out our VPN here. Get the VPN. If you guys are going to Bitcoin 2025 Las Vegas, we just heard that our guy Mattyverse is going. So I mean, if Mattyverse is going, we got to go, right? So let's all go to Bitcoin 2025 Las Vegas. We should all be rich by May, hopefully. So that it's gonna be easy to go and spend some money. So but guys, don't wait till next year to get your tickets. Get them as soon as possible. You want to kind of use our link here. That'll take you to the Bitcoin magazine. And if you pay with Bitcoin, it's even cheaper. So definitely think about you going. It's gonna be a good time. If you guys want to go to the get some merch, we have some of the best merch in the entire crypto ecosystem, not just ordinals. Come check out our stuff here. We got we got shirts, hats, hoodies, school bags, and so much more, guys. Click up the hoodies. It's hoodie season. My favorite time. It just hit 20 degrees in Philly last couple of days. It was cold, and I was rocking my hoodie. I don't wear jackets. I wear hoodies because that's just how I roll. But I was rocking this one right here. Chancellor on the brink of second ballot for banks. Get yourself a hoodie, guys. It's hoodies. We got Memento Mori. We got Puka, Gizmo. I have 401B, Billy Cats. We are all Satoshi. So much more, guys. So much more. Node monkeys, even toothies. But shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for checking out our store and everything. But we are live Monday to Friday. We will not be live tomorrow, and we'll not be live on Christmas Day, but we'll be back on Thursday. So thank you guys for being patient with us. We're gonna take a couple of days off to roll with our families. We love you guys, but sometimes we got to keep the wife and the kids happy. So we will see you guys on Thursday, and we'll figure out what we're doing the following week. But until tomorrow.
Happy holidays and peace.
We OG, oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Yeah, experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Rooms is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.